no, we can don't have to do that if you don't want to. But if we wanted to update anything about the TV situation, the Iowa KCRG thing,
Sure. Let me put it in
or
there.
if I did, I mean,
I know, but I don't look at that once I start.
oh, you have
I
your
mean,
own
like
notes.
yeah.
I only know about the KCRG Iowa one. I don't know. I mean, if you guys wanted to, have we talked about the Quad City one already?
Yes. We
Okay.
talked about it on last episode.
Man, I'm so
Check,
jealous
check. 1, 2, 3.
of you guys right now. I have
Can you see
some
my
serious
sunburn?
IVMB happening right now. Because like today was one of those, have you ever had one of those Sundays where you feel like your life is just like, you know what I mean? It's something about Sunday. And if you had those Sundays, it's just like life fucking sucks right now. it's only it's
I've been
only
there.
because it's Sunday and you have to go. Well, I have to go to work on Thursday. That's partly what it is. And Alice has to go to.
I didn't know you
daycare.
go back so quickly.
I know. Well, I've been off for 5 weeks already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I'm dreading that. Work sucks. Capitalism sucks. Can't people pay us to do this so that we don't have to go to work?
Right. Then this would be work.
Well, it would, but this is
Be complaining about.
fun than
You'd
well, I
be
would
complaining about your coworkers.
probably the CEO. Such an ass.
COO.
COO.
Because there's no way on the CFO.
What's COO?
Isn't that operating?
Oh yeah.
Operations officer. CFO is the chief veteran officer.
Tharp asked if we were doing it under the palm trees. I said no, we're in the air conditioning.
Huh. Well,
It was
it's gonna
neat,
be
too.
it's gonna be 77, I think, here tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
So you guys, yeah, you can talk about the weather all you want, but because today it was 65, and 65 in the Midwest is like absolute perfection.
Do you guys
So, yeah,
mind if I FaceTime with my family real quick?
Tomorrow at 77.
Apparently
The weirdest
no
thing
one-
is, so it's the low, which is probably in the middle of the night tonight, is 38, but the high tomorrow
Yeah,
is
get ready to
77.
record.
Dang, that's nice.
Hi.
Corey's FaceTiming with his family right
I
now.
see
Hi.
that. Tell him to hurry up.
What? You guys are crooked.
Did you already FaceTime your family?
Oh shoot, I have a
Okay.
family.
Um.
No, yeah, I did a couple times.
Okay.
That's good. Was Max sad to see you go?
Yeah, we missed you too.
Not really. I don't know. I mean, he's fine. He didn't realize. I don't think how long I was
Yeah,
going to be
they're-
gone.
Their time concept is off. Well, enjoy it. It'll go by so fast. That's what I remember, like getting there and thinking, like, oh, we've got like almost a whole week, and then it's like, oh
Well,
shit, we
were
gotta drive.
supposed to
We have to
start
drive
recording
home now.
like 12 minutes ago.
What's that?
I just say like it'll go by so fast, and it's like I remember getting there and thinking, man, we have so much time, so many baseball games, and then you're like, oh shit, we gotta drive home now.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I already kind of feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Did you get? I mean, was the drive
Yeah,
out
that's
okay? As far as I mean, as good as a 26-hour drive
Cool.
can go.
All right.
Yeah, about as good as it can get because there was no
Okay.
construction really
Okay,
anywhere.
love you.
That's good.
Bye, girls.
But
Bye. Love
we
you.
both like got less
Bye.
than 3 hours of sleep the entire time. So that sucked. And then like you experienced and you know already the that last 4 hours through Arizona was
Yeah, that sucks.
that was brutal.
Yeah, it's
Even-
like New Mexico's like a tease. Like you feel like you're there, but you're not even.
Well,
And it's-
yeah,
but at
but
least New
when you
Mexico's
get into
pretty-
Arizona, that's like the ultimate tease.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, we're in Arizona.
That east,
Oh, look,
that
we're
east, yeah. The east side of Arizona is so boring too.
Well, it's not even that. It's when you drop down, when you in Holbrook or whatever, when it's like, oh, we're gonna take that highway down,
Yeah.
and it's like,
you go
oh,
to
yeah,
that
we
same
still have
that
4
same route
hours.
where you
Yeah, we
go
did.
downhill the whole like through the mountains or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Corey,
Well,
did you text
I
that? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I Google mapped it or whatever, and there is another route that only takes like a little bit longer through Denver.
I know we might. There was going to be snow on the way here, so that's why we.
That's what I was
that
gonna
way,
say,
but we
you'd
may
be
go
going
that way
through
on the
a
way
lot.
back.
You go through a lot of mountains.
Yeah, we might do it on the way back. What were we going to say, Andy?
I was just gonna say, did you tweet that picture at?
Oh, I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it'd be kind of funny if we got a response before the podcast, so we could talk about that. But
Yeah.
Paul Sullivan.
No. It'd take me a while. I'll just have to do it afterwards. Something kind of funny happened at spring training today with a couple players, and they asked me to tweet them the picture when I was done.
The players did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scalina and Zistrinzi.
Disney.
Zistrizny.
Those aren't players.
We were at the minor league camp most of the time. Oh,
Playing,
boy.
like Long Beach State or something.
You say that because you're not there.
I know. I can't even describe to you how jealous I am of the fact that you guys are there and I'm here.
You know, it's not a whole lot. I feel about as busy as we were.
Yeah,
I mean, what time? I got up
but you
at
haven't
5:30
you haven't really
this
like
morning and-
settled in yet though. Like you're still
Doesn't
on day
feel like
one,
it.
really.
Yeah. Can you see
The
my
drive
Can
just kills you.
you see that farmer's tan right there?
Yeah, kind of.
Let me see. That, oh, yeah,
Gosh.
look at it there.
I can't believe you don't learn your lesson. Like,
I know, because we were in the
Good.
shade most of the time, but look
it
at
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Is this
You're in-
ginger
you're-
chat? Should I tune
You're
in?
in, you're in the desert.
that. Ginger chat. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom and grab a beer, and then I'll be about ready.
Hurry up! I gotta go to bed.
What are you talking about? It's only 6:45.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bitches.
Man,
Is there a-
Dino. How about
Is there
Dino
a
today?
rose? Is there a rose on the counter over there? A single rose.
Yeah, on the middle of the table, there's a vase with a single rose in it.
Oh, is that from the whoever owns the place?
Yeah. But there's also this awesome piece I'm gonna put on the table.
I
Whatever it is.
was gonna say something bad, but I realized that we're live, so I
You
won't.
put your weed in there. It's a corkscrew for a gigantic bottle of wine.
A Magnum. Man, Airbnb is the best. I've never really used it, but it's such a cool concept.
It's incredible. I mean, like, this place is more than we could have hoped for.
I mean, just having a kitchen and like a dining area, like make your own food and stuff.
Yeah.
Corey and I were just in like a regular old hotel room with a couple of queen beds and
I thought you were gonna say a couple of queens.
that too. They were there, but yeah, it wasn't bad. The hotel we stayed in was pretty nice, but still, hotel rooms are small. That dead guy is delicious.
Mm.
All right. So for the viewers, we're going to get going here in a second.
They're not. They're not viewers.
They are.
I don't know. Let's table that for right now.
Mates reference.
I'm going to show you the picture that they asked us to tweet.
Oh,
I can-
I was gonna add one other thing because I'll forget. If they're doing any of those like old timey player charity ball things, like Fergie did last time we were there.
He was there, yeah.
Well, if there's anybody but Fergie, text me. I might buy one. I get one for me. Like if Billy, I need Billy.
No, he wasn't there.
Yeah. Apparently Fergie just goes to all of this stuff.
Okay, here I'm going to screen share you.
Right.
This is what they wanted me to send to them. Hold on, I got to figure out how to screen share.
It's over on the left. The one that looks like a screen
I know.
with
Oh,
an
here we go.
arrow.
Hold on. Okay. Can you see it?
Oh, hold on. It's coming up.
Hello.
It's black. Oh,
It
there
is.
it is.
This is
Oh wow. That's That's a beaut
I haven't
clock.
really seen it on a good screen yet.
Who is that?
Scalina.
Scalina. Okay.
It's not gonna look as cool as they think it is.
Well, it's got you can see the chain link fence a little bit, but
I know.
it's still pretty cool.
Kind of looks like he's frolicking.
Yeah, if they want it because they think it's cool, then I don't think that's what they're probably.
This Disney is gonna
Oh yeah.
tweet it to make fun of him.
All right. Sorry it's taking us a
Yeah.
few minutes here.
Oh yeah. Well, should be a quick episode.
Yeah, it really should.
No, I said that sarcastically. It's an epic moment. 300. It's
I
not. It's
know.
not going to be as. It's not going to be as grand as our previous 100th episode.
The 100 was, well, yeah, for you. Feels pretty
What?
grand to me.
Uh, yeah, I'm still in my basement.
Or he's just being a dick.
He is a dick. He can't help it.
Yeah, I'll try some of that next.
What's the bag of snack food on the table there
Trail
next
mix.
to the beer? For the trail.
All right, I'm
Where's-
almost
where's-
ready. I'm sorry.
Where's Andy going? He just disappeared.
I don't know where he's going.
You guys are killing me. Oh, he's fixing the camera.
Feel bad for the viewers. We normally kind of like to get rolling right away, but
No, we don't.
let's blame it on the time difference. I'm
Mhm.
almost ready. I just have to tweet it, and then we're good.
I'm not I don't have any prepared notes or anything, so it's
Yeah, that's okay.
oh yeah, the app. I'm talking about the app. Yeah,
How's the camera, Kurt?
I can do that. Huh?
How's the camera right now?
Oops, hold on. So I don't know where he's gonna be in the frame. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. It's good.
Close. Intent.
You got some good depth of field with the camera going on. It's like Corey, computer, iPad trail mix, mixing board, iPad Andy.
Upside down corkscrew glass.
Yeah.
What is this thing?
Oh, wait, that's not visible behind the.
Oh, put it where it's visible because it's funny.
It needs to be put it by the trail mix, and then it'll be visible.
What about right here?
There you go. That is up close and personal right there.
Hey, man, here.
Are we gonna talk about the elephant in the room? The big glass corkscrew sex toy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that looks painful. Are you
Shout
drinking
out to-
beer out of a plastic Pepsi cup, Andy?
That's what I told him.
Is that like one of those, when you go to a diner and they're like, "You want a Pepsi?" and they give it it's full of crushed ice and Pepsi, and that's what
Well,
you
here's
got?
the thing. It's either that or out of the bottle.
Well, what's wrong with the bottle?
That's what I said.
I'd rather drink it out of the bottle than a Pepsi cup.
That's what I
Oh,
said.
Get the hell out of here.
Is it glass or is it plastic?
It's plastic.
Drink it out of the bottle. Plastic is terrible. Are we starting? Are you testing?
No. Damn.
Hi, thanks for listening to this week.
Shut up. Shut up.
See Andy's eyes. I haven't seen your eyes like that. What did you just do? Oh, I made that crazy sound.
What?
Nothing. I haven't seen your eyes. I haven't seen your facial expression like that since I made that weird burping noise a little bit ago.
I haven't seen you look like that since 5 minutes ago.
Oh man! All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt, are you ready?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm so excited. Spring
I
training.
can't. Can you look at the chat? Can you keep an eye on that, Kurt? I don't have
Oh
my extra monitor.
Jesus!
I don't have my extra monitor.
I don't
I didn't
either.
pack it.
I will open the chat. I cannot guarantee chatters that I will be very on top of it. I will try. For you, I will do it. Let's see. How do I get to
Shit. IVMB.com/live.
live?
Hello, check 1 2. Okay, hold on. Hello. Check 1 2. You want to go loud, Andy?
Check. Hello.
Go loud.
Go loud. What does that mean?
As loud as you could ever possibly go.
Ah!
Hello.
Do I have to log in?
No, just keep an eye on it.
I know, but I have to be able to respond. All right, I'm in.
He's in.
All right, I'm in.
Kurt's in. All right, nice little chat room we got going on. Don't worry, Kurt. I'll keep an eye on it.
What?
Nothing. I'm just joking.
I like the chat. This is fun. I should do this more often.
It's more entertaining than our podcast.
It is yeah.
We'll just read it.
Tony likes your guns.
My
Corey.
guns?
Your guns, because you're so close to the camera. Your arms. I think that they're realizing that you're burnt too.
Hold on, let me reach over here.
Wait. Nobody knows how to sew in here because you're ripped.
Hold on, let me reach over here and start this song.
I think the button is right over here.
Corey, why are your arms the same color as your hat?
I know. My neck is what's a little warm. I thought we were out of the sun. I thought I stayed in the shade enough today. Okay, so we're just going to kind of wing it on this episode for the most part.
Oh, just trying to make people tune out right away.
Yeah. Don't worry, folks. We haven't prepared. We did a little prep work.
Oh, we've been talking about this crap.
That's true. All right, here we go. Two-thirds of us have arrived in Arizona for spring training. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about let me start over. Kurt, you're the third. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of us have arrived at Arizona. God.
Love it.
Two-thirds of us have arrived in Arizona for spring training. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about our experience here. Man, shit. Sorry. Two-thirds of us have arrived in Arizona for spring training. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about our spring training experiences so far. We'll talk about some of the developments out here in Mesa, including injuries and individual performances. We have a lot of IVMB news to share on this milestone episode. It is the Ides of March 2015, 300th episode of the IVNB podcast. Okay, I'm going to have an edit point. Here we go. And I'm going to have another one. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the IVMB podcast. It's episode number 300. Andy and I are here in Arizona for spring training. How's it going, Andy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I catch you off guard there?
Yeah.
We've done it the same way for 299 episodes, so I thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah, fresh.
I'm
Fresh
a little
start.
worried how you're gonna loop me in. So
Well, I was going to say, and we're joined through a Google Plus Hangout with
Yeah.
Kurt. And Kurt, thanks for holding down the fort back there in the Midwest.
yeah, I'm here at the home headquarters in Iowa. I'm in Iowa, but I should say though, like today was amazing weather, and tomorrow's going to be even better. So you guys can talk about all the weather all you want, because typically it'd be 40 here, but we don't have that problem. It's gonna be 77 tomorrow.
I did not talk about the weather, Kurt.
No, you just you made a Twitter joke about it earlier, so
I don't think a hashtag counts as talking about the weather, but
you said not talking about the weather.
right, because I wasn't talking about the weather. Hot out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. But Corey was surprised to find when we got home after a long day in the sun that he wasn't sweating.
I know. I wasn't. I was dry, yet sunburned. Even though we managed to stay in the shade 98% of the day, we both got sunburned.
Both got tagged.
Um,
That sun though.
yeah, that's right. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. We're going to talk about the Cubs, and we're also going to talk a little bit about IVMV2. We typically try to implement changes and make improvements with IVMV in the off season. Last year we worked all winter on our website redesign, and later in this episode we're going to talk about the changes that are coming to IVMV this year. But we don't really want to lead off with that stuff because you're here for Cubs baseball first and foremost, and so are we.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
So let's talk about the Cubs. First off, Kurt, since you live in Iowa, maybe you could inform some of our Iowan listeners about some changes or some developments with the TV situation.
Yeah, if you live in eastern Iowa, more specifically Cedar Rapids, the corridor, Cedar Rapids to Iowa City, there's good news came out in the past week from KCRG, which is the ABC affiliate in Cedar Rapids, that they will be covering in total 124 games of baseball, which I read originally and was like, whoa, 124, but 55 of those are White Sox games, which nobody cares about. But the other 69 will be Cubs games, and that's pretty exciting. I mean, we've heard from the Quad Cities that that ABC affiliate will be like 45 games, but this is 69, which it looks like that's the full slate of WGN Local 9 and the ABC 7 in Chicago, all those games. So it's a good chunk of games, and so it's nice to see that come out. So if you live in eastern Iowa and you're at least close enough to get Cedar Rapids stations, then it's some good news for us, and we'll be able to get those free and over the air, or through local cable or whatever else you have.
Yeah, and so there's a lot more of these being announced, like we said there would be. I know a lot in Indiana. I gathered from Twitter today that Indianapolis does not have Cubs broadcasts, and that's kind of like, I don't know, it's getting close to Cincinnati, and it's pretty far south. So I don't know if that is something that would happen there in Indianapolis. I'm not sure. But I guess they're closer to Chicago than Cincinnati, but I don't know. I saw DeRose talking about it on Twitter today. So the other Cub stuff we want to talk about really is just spring training. So I guess we can kind of start. Andy and I drove here from Illinois. We arrived late afternoon yesterday, early evening. We drove 26 hours straight through.
So you stopped to pee then?
We did.
Yeah. Well, you could have made it in like 24 3/4. So you just have to pee.
Well,
You just
yeah.
peed in a bottle.
Unfortunately, we left our colostomy bags at home, and
Mistake number one.
yeah. So we had to. Yeah, we were forced to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did have to, and we had to fuel too. The Corolla
Oh.
gets great gas mileage, but we still weren't able to make it on one tank of gas.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
took some-
Well, it helps that gas is cheap,
Yeah, it was nice. But overall, good drive. We did a couple of meerkats. Did you have the opportunity to watch those, Kurt, or were you?
No, I didn't actually. I wanted to, and you had texted me that we had a child incident that I had to attend to, so I wasn't able to watch it. 3-year-old meltdowns can interrupt meerkat sessions.
It was pretty fun though. It helped us pass. We did it 2 of them, and we talked about it on last episode. Meerkat is an app that we can use to stream live from wherever we are, and so we did a couple of AMA Ask Me Anything sessions in the car and answered a ton of questions. We still have more questions. We ended up like 40 of them sent to us, so we still have some more to do. So maybe we'll do those on the way back.
I will say it would be nice if they would archive it, because if you missed the live meerkat, you can't. I tried to go watch it, and you can't see.
Right. So I can save it. I was able to save those, and I had a couple of listeners ask if we would consider, releasing those somehow. And so I don't know if I really want to put it in our podcast feed, but I may just throw it into like a YouTube video, and so people can watch it if they want to. But it was pretty fun. I mean, it helped us. I think each one ended up being between 45 minutes and an hour, so it really helped us pass some time in what can be a pretty boring drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them definitely made it go a little bit faster just to be able to answer the questions, and so we're grateful to everybody for submitting those.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody for watching too, because if there would have been like 1 or 2 people, then it would have just felt awkward for us. But I think the first time there was 18 people watching. So it kind of felt, at least if other people were interested, it felt like we had a reason to do it. So even if you just turned it on and then didn't pay any attention, thanks for doing that. So thoughts from spring training. Andy, you've never been to spring training before. This is your first experience. Granted, we're only 1 day in. Any comments on the? Let's start with this is the first time either of us have been to Sloan Park. Last year was called Cubs Park. Any thoughts about the setup there? And
well, it didn't get off to a great start because we didn't know where to park, so we ended up probably walking
today.
Probably ended up walking, I don't know, maybe even close to a mile.
Oh, way more than that, I think.
To just around ball diamonds and stuff because we couldn't find the right access points. But once we actually got into the epicenter of the practice fields, then everything was within very close. I mean, everything was very close to. All the fields were close to each other, and all the action was, very accessible.
Yeah, I mean, so if you ever went to Fitch, Kurt, Fitch Park was basically like a city, city park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is built for spring training. It's built for what they're using it for. So it was a little more, quite a bit more spread out. At Fitch, like you could literally just park and then walk like 3 minutes, if even that, over.
Basically, from the outfield to the infield is how far you had to walk at Fitch.
Right. Now this was like we parked. Well, it was game day too, and so we parked where the game day parking is, and then we had to walk really far. We didn't know where we were going, and so we ended up like dead ends, and just because there was a lot of areas that you could probably normally walk, but this was like they were off limits because it was a game day.
And maybe the most traffic cones I've ever seen in my life. We drove down one direction, and there were cones like in the middle of the street, like we couldn't get through, like just crazy dead ends made with cones and construction barricades and stuff everywhere. But yeah, it was very expansive, kind of a sprawling complex, but really, really nice.
Yeah, really nice and a lot more organized. Like even in, I'll say that by comparing to what you and I saw, Kurt, when we went to spring training 3 or 4 years ago, this front office, I would say, runs things a lot more. It was a lot more organized, a lot more. It looked a lot more productive. And I'll just say, like, we saw coaching on those fields 3 or 4 years ago, and the coaching that we saw today was far superior.
Yeah,
Hmm.
seemed like they ran a very tight ship. They had all the minor league coaches involved on the different practice fields, and
Mhm.
seemed that like everybody was divided into well organized groups by skill level, or I mean, I'm sorry, by maybe like their organizational level, I guess I should say.
That's what it seemed like, yeah.
And I, like for example, I saw Myrtle Beach's manager Mark Johnson running infield drills, and he really kept those clicking without really having to say too much, but he did talk when necessary. For example, I heard him scold a player for not giving way when another player had called for it very loudly and clearly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he seemed like he was being a pretty good, efficient, and effective coach to me, from what I could tell.
Yeah, and the funny thing is in watching these drills, if you've never seen these before, the coaching that's going on is not that much different than you would hear Little League coaching. And I'm serious. Like, a lot of the coaching is very basic.
Right.
You know.
But I mean, they would give the players all these different scenarios, so.
Did we mention it was a minor league camp? I don't know if we mentioned that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We should
yeah.
make sure we.
So there wasn't
clarify.
really anyone who was potentially going to be playing in the big league game today.
No.
But
present,
I will
so-
say, well, I mean, one thing you guys didn't have the opportunity to do is watch the TV broadcast, and they interviewed Joe Madden today. Len and JD did, and one
Oh,
thing
we
he
were in
talked
the room.
about was what?
We were in the room for it. They invited
Oh,
us
okay. No, you mean in the dugout?
in the dugout.
Yeah. Well,
you were
they
in the
needed
press
us
box.
to. They needed us to run the technical stuff.
You had to put the headphones on his head.
Right. We were in charge of the engineering today.
But anyways, the parallel I was going to draw was that Madden talked about how he thinks that simplifying things is one of the most important things, and I think, like you talking about it being sort of little league-ish, I think it's just boiling it down to the simple, repetitive parts of baseball, and you just drill it
Right.
home, and then it's like it's second nature when it comes time to play. So
Right. I mean, a lot
you
of their
know.
work. A lot of what they're working on is like bunt drills, but not for for defense. And it's okay where you throw. This is the situation. You got who's calling for this, who's telling the person getting it where to throw. So there's all that kind of stuff going on. And I guess one of the things that stood out to me, I mean, Andy, you noticed that who was it that had an interpreter with them?
Oh, Jen Hosang.
Okay, Jen Hosang had an interpreter with him, and that just kind of reminded me. And I was telling Andy that, Kurt, you and I saw a few international players. I can't remember if they were like maybe Korean or Japanese. I can't remember. And they had nobody there to
Right.
interpret for the.
And it was
translate
very
for-
obvious that there was a language barrier, and the guy was not understanding. He was not performing, but it was because he didn't understand what the expectation was.
Right, and so then you had like literally the coaches were like yelling at him, and he had no idea what he was supposed to be doing. I mean, it was just at that point, like that's one of those things that stood out to me, kind of in that I'm not going to pin it on him, but in that Jim Hendry era, where I was just like, man, it seems like it wouldn't cost a whole lot to have somebody here to translate.
Yeah.
Why is he a player in this organization if you're not going to try to get the most out of him?
And we saw today we saw a lot of coaches speaking Spanish who didn't, if you were engaging in stereotypes, you might think wouldn't be the type who would speak Spanish, and then also that interpreter just shadowing Jen Hosang everywhere he went, and so that helped just to give it that, that tight ship feel, that just efficient feel to it.
Another cool thing I saw this time that I didn't see any other time was so it's kind of like Fitch in that there's like that area in the middle where fans can hang out. There's like a tower thing in the middle, so there's like we saw Jason McLeod and probably some other members of the front office that we weren't familiar with sitting up there and watch, so they can watch all four diamonds. And there's benches and stuff like that. And a couple times coaches took players, like groups of players, sometimes large groups, and took them into that middle area and kind of gave them like a pep talk. And I really wish I didn't go over and listen to the one because I was like, yeah, I'm probably not welcome there. Now, in retrospect, I wish I would have done it because they did it in the public, so it would have been fine. And then there was a guy sitting next to us that came over and talked to his kids, and he was like, "Wow, that was really cool. Like that was a really good pep talk." And I was like, "Oh, I wish I would have gone over and listened."
Yeah.
But just
Maybe I would have got fired up about something.
but for the younger guys, it's kind of like, it's summer camp before, some of these kids are, man, they're young. So
yeah, and at the
it's
same
gotta
time,
be
like,
kind of fun.
right, and that's another thing that's noticeable too. Like, I went over to one field, and yeah, it was like serious, and they were doing like some serious drills, but like they were joking around a lot. The coaches were joking around with them. Like at the same time, it wasn't like a real serious. I mean, it wasn't
they were militaristic really or anything.
Right.
I saw a few instances of players just kind of keeping it loose, and you could tell that they had license to do that. Like at one point, we saw a batter during batting practice hit a pretty hard liner that there's no way an infielder was going to catch it, and the shortstop like threw his glove up in the air to try to knock it down. Like that kind of thing that you do when you're a kid playing ball. And then Corey, you want to describe what you saw Rob Zastryzny and Tyler Skolina doing?
Yeah, and I couldn't even really tell you why they did it, but we'll tweet it out here in a little bit tonight. But I was just standing there watching them, and for whatever reason, Skolina like jumped up in the air, did some like karate move, camera, and I just happened to take a picture. I was going to take a picture of the two of them standing next to each other with their jerseys there, because this is kind of a time too where it's like kind of an opportunity for us to get some images to use for the website and stuff like that, so we're not using copyright images. So I try to take pictures if they have like their name of their jersey, their name on the back of the jersey. But for whatever reason, Skolina like jumped up in the air and did some crazy like karate move or something, and I just happened to snap a picture right as he did it. And they were just like, "Did you just get that? Did you get that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh man, you got to tweet that later." I was like, "Okay." So I mean, like, yeah, they were kind of having fun. Man, there was something else I was gonna say, and I can't remember what it was. But
I saw Jeimer Candelario just crush a home run to right field during batting practice, and he came over outside of the cage and did one of those like jump and crash into each other things that you always see football players do with another guy. But it was like their jumps were like 6 inches off the ground. It's like a little tiny mini one.
Yeah, so we had quite a bit of fun over there at the. We watched that for a couple hours and then went over to the game. We actually had the opportunity to meet Mick Gillespie, who is, of course, the broadcaster for the Cubs.com broadcast, and Mick was awesome. A lot of fun to hang out with. We recorded the interview, and we were standing in a windy area, and I kind of realized it as we were standing there, and I tried to block the microphone, the handheld recorder, this thing right here, if you're watching live. I tried blocking it with my iPad so it blocked the wind, and it did not do the trick. And so the file is essentially unusable.
And Corey tried to do some triage on it on the computer once we got home, and it was just unsalvageable pretty much, sadly. But the cool thing about Mick, I mean, he actually, even then when we were with him, he asked if we wanted to do part of it again, and we did, and that, just wasn't going to all like be able to be kind of spliced together, I guess.
Right.
And so he's already offered to do it again at some point this week, or
third time's a charm.
Yeah, so that just kind of shows what a great guy he was, and really seemed passionate about what he does.
Yeah, he's extremely, like, that's the thing that stood out to me. It was like he was so passionate about what he's doing, and he loves it, and just a super nice guy. Probably, one of the nicest guys in baseball I've ever met.
Right.
Well, I will say, from listening, and I didn't meet him, but I love broadcasts, and it's always surprised me that, and maybe he's really happy in Tennessee, but it's always surprised me that he's still doing Double-A ball and hasn't had a sort of call-up offer. But perhaps he enjoys what he does down there. But he's one of the he has to be the best play-by-play in Double-A.
Yeah.
It seems like he does have, ambition, but he loves what he does there in Tennessee. He said he'd been there for 9 years, so it has been a little while, but I have a feeling things will start happening for him.
Yeah, I do too. So look for that later this week. I wish we had it, to share with you this week, or I mean, here in the next day or two. But it just, I could put that audio file out there, but you wouldn't be able to understand a word. So then we went into the game today, and I will say that this was the fastest baseball game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I saw several tweets of people timing it out about 2 hours and 14 minutes, 2 hours 15 minutes, something like that. And yeah, it was quick. I mean, the game starts at 1, and then we're looking at our watches about 2:55, and it's just about over.
Right, we were ready to leave. But it was cool. I'll say that Sloan is a lot different than Hohokam. There's no doubt about that. It's a nice ballpark.
Very nice.
So for context, I've been to like Camelback, and I went, the other fields for the other teams.
Right.
Compare it to some of those other newer facilities.
I would say it's like Camelback, except for it's bigger. The concourse was bigger. There's more stuff. There's more vendors. I don't know. There was just some really cool stuff that I haven't really heard people talk about. That maybe they did talk about it, but I didn't hear it. For instance, in the outfield, behind the concourse, there's like a fenced off area, and they have food trucks out there.
It kind of had a county fair type of feel to it because of the way it was kind of like a little crushed gravel surface, and and then there were all those vendor trucks. But yeah, there was that.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was that, and then also in the right field concourse there was a marquee that was basically made to look just like the marquee out front of Wrigley Field.
Right.
And so you could get your picture taken in front of it, and you could also have them type in what you wanted the marquee to say on it too for your picture. So we might get that done maybe on Tuesday if we have a chance.
Are there limitations about what you can put on the marquee? I imagine.
We're gonna hold hands in the picture though. I don't know. There was just some cool stuff. Like you remember at Hohokam, where they had Fergie Jenkins and all that autograph stuff. It was like kind of down behind things. Now they have like these rooms kind of like built off of the concourse that you can see. They have like garage doors or something that they can bring down. So it's like things that would, if you walked by, you would think it was just storage in there. But I don't know. They just have a lot of room and a lot of things
storage,
built
but it's
into
Fergie
the ballpark.
Jenkins.
Yeah.
Like,
They have a lot of
facility. Nope,
they have a
that's
lot of
Fergie.
just a lot of things in that area that, but at the same time, like I think it's really good, and we've kind of talked about this, that I think some fans might be nervous about what they might do to Wrigley Field through renovations and stuff like that. Like I went to this today, and if that's what they do to a new ballpark, then Wrigley is going to be just fine for everybody that's worried about it.
Well, I think it's gonna be just fine for everybody who's like reasonable about it. But then there's always the unreasonable folks who don't want anything to change, and those people will never be happy. So
that's true.
There were a couple, like maybe you could construe these as negative aspects to it. I mean, I've never been to Hohokam, but obviously it seems like there's going to be a lot less access to the players in the game. I guess in the game setting, or I mean, I guess I should say like there's less of an intimate feel to it. Might be a better way of putting it.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of feels like a minor, like it kind of feels like if Hohokam was like a low A ballpark, like Modern Woodman or Dozer Park in Peoria or something like that, then this was maybe more like Principal Park, where the Iowa Cubs
right.
play.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That.
Like it's a little bigger. What does it hold? Like 12,000 maybe.
Well,
I think
15.
it's
Like when
close
it's
to
been
15.
selling out, it's 15 something.
Okay.
They did say today was a sellout.
Yeah, it was really crowded. Another nice thing is though,
packed.
yeah, the berm was packed, but I mean, like, okay, we're Midwest guys. Our first day in 90-degree heat in 6 months. There was plenty of room in the concourse to stand if you wanted to get out of the sun. There were actually like, what do you call those things that we leaned against? Just like drink.
Pillars.
Just kind of a raised little counter.
Like like a counter thing, like all the way around the concourse, so you could like stand there and set your drink on.
Just
it
kind of
and stuff.
lean on it. It actually just felt good to just kind of distribute your weight on the little counter.
Yeah, and they also had like an area on the right field side that it was completely shaded for people that had. And so that was really cool too. So there's definitely took like comfort into consideration with this, and knowing that it's in the desert and the majority of their fans are traveling from the Midwest. So
the other thing I will say about it too is prices seem really expensive there, just generally speaking.
What's a beer
most of the
cost?
Well, yeah, most of the beer vendors, it costs from $9 to $12.
Oh God. So do you like anything craft-ish? It's
Yeah.
$12.
Premium
11 or 12.
premium beer in a tall boy can, premium in air quotes, was
You mean
12.
summer shandy.
Right. Yeah, I mean like Dos Equis maybe. It was $12. But I did see at one of the stands a beer option that was, I think, maybe $6, but it was like called value beer. It was like it said like value
It's
beer
like
option.
It's a shot of beer.
Right. And so like I wondered how big that cup was gonna be.
Did you guys happen to see? It's like what's a berm seat cost or berm admission?
I don't know.
Well, that's what we got, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember what we paid for them.
Well, I could go over and get
Maybe
my
like
pay.
12.
Yeah.
$12. Okay, yeah. So when I went,
I don't know.
My first spring training was 2000 maybe. And I remember going to like Peoria Stadium. I don't know if that's still, but the Giants, and we paid I think $4 or $5 for a.
Yeah,
for
they're not
crap.
that cheap. I think some of them, like we're going to Peoria tomorrow, and I think it's maybe more like, I don't know, 8 or something.
But that's
like that.
the thing. It's just funny that like when the beer surpasses the berm seating, when beer surpasses the admission to the game, then you've.
That's a good point.
It's just crazy.
But I mean, those are just kind of minor things. I think overall, I mean, I feel very positive about it.
If I had to criticize the ballpark for anything, it's that I had a hard time finding, like, with starting it from scratch. There's a big board, but there's no jumbotron, I guess, per se. And I actually had trouble like finding the count. Like even when I found like the board, it wasn't like, I don't know, there was something about how I still had trouble finding it on the board. And sometimes you would have kind of expected to be posted in a few different other areas or whatever, and it wasn't at all. So like that was the only thing that kind of stood out to me. It was like, okay, so they built this thing from scratch. Technology isn't really a problem. Things like that could be displayed in a few different areas, like it is, at Wrigley. It's a few different spots.
Yeah, but maybe they didn't want to overdo it with that to kind of retain a spring training feel. You know, I mean, it's not really.
Well, based on Friday's game, sometimes the umpires don't even know. Apparently,
it's not really about knowing the counts and things like that.
Right.
It's about taking your shirt off and drinking beer. Apparently, for a lot of fans there today.
Not us.
If you have a Cubs tat, you got to pop that shirt off.
Oh, go to a White Sox game out there. No
Oh,
shirts
man.
allowed.
Other than that, though, I don't really have too much to say. I mean, look at Dino.
The sixth player.
No.
Once you said that today, I just like.
Oh man, don't play the whole song, please.
Okay. While we're talking about Dino, we can at least play this. I did enjoy the tweets today directed back at us, quoting songs or lyrics from this song. They call him Dino. What do you know? But anyways, man, the wind was just. We talked about how the wind ruined our recording today. It was going to be difficult to take anything out to right field.
It was
today.
howling in from right field, and then it did die toward the end of the game. And so Dino managed to hit one out to left field, and I was kind of surprised that one didn't get knocked down more, but he clobbered that ball.
Yeah. Yep. So let's move on to, since we've just BS'd about nothing for the last 15 minutes.
Well,
Well, no,
call it nothing.
Well, my stuff was nothing, Andy. Yours was spectacular.
Okay.
Yours was podcast gold.
You better be careful. I'll use the reverse corkscrew on you later.
Individual performances. Let's talk about just kind of general spring training stuff right now. How about Chris Bryant, guys? Does he belong?
Yeah. He's got to work on his throwing apparently, but as far as the bat goes, I don't think we have anything to worry about there.
How about this slash line? 450, 522, 1.400. 1400.
And almost a 2 OPS.
Yes.
Did you say 6 home runs?
And 6 home runs. Leading Major League Baseball with 6 home runs. Next players have 3. One of those players with 3 home runs is Bryant's teammate, Matt Caesar.
Lighten it up. But Bryant has two homer games now, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think he's, it's just, yeah, the guy can hit some home runs. There's no question about that.
Who
and
else
it's-
could get scratched from a lineup
But
in a game and still hit 2 home runs?
I know. Yeah, it's amazing. But I will say, if the Cubs need a reason to send him to Iowa, the defense is, he's made some mistakes, and I can't say that in a normal situation without the whole contract situation that he wouldn't be deserving a major league spot. But it'd be easy for them to say, like, look, he needs work on his defense. Even at third, he's looked a little rough at times.
Yeah.
Because, for example, in comparison, like Addison Russell's been playing some short lately, quite a bit, and he looks solid defensively.
He didn't get charged with an error today on that one play, did he?
No.
When
That
he
actually
slid?
I think was scored as a hit
Okay.
because it was kind of in the hole, and La Stella made a diving attempt at it,
Mhm.
and it was going to be a really tough play for Russell anyway, since he would have had to throw across his body and his
Right.
momentum.
So this is the first time that Andy, you and I both got to see Addison Russell play in person. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I would say, just like we said, just he looked really sharp on defense, just smooth. Got the ball out of his glove quickly, strong throwing arm. But then every time he was at the plate, he made weak contact. I think every single at bat. He popped out in shallow foul territory a couple times.
Weak liner
Yeah,
to second at one point.
just kind of hit. It kind of was up on his hands, I think, that hit, and he just didn't make good contact the entire game. That being said, he has pretty darn good spring numbers so far, but
Yeah.
today was a rough day for him at the plate. And he was in the 9-hole too, which we both found interesting.
Also, going back to Bryant quickly, I think he's got 5 strikeouts in his 20 at bats. So that's good. A pitcher I think worth mentioning is Kyle Hendricks. Really, no question, he's going to have the 4th spot in the rotation locked up. He's pitched in 2 games, 7 innings pitched, and he hasn't given up a run, and he's only given up 3 hits.
And I think his last outing really, just solidified the fact that he, just really made it look like he belongs there in the
Right.
rotation, and that he is the number 4 guy.
Right.
But then Travis Wood today, a very, very solid outing, and he's also looking like, I think he's making a strong case for that he should be the number 5
Yeah,
starter,
today I think
personally.
today's outing was pretty good because they're starting to stretch out the starters a little bit
Right.
longer than the 2 innings. I think
So
Wood
this
went
was-
5 today.
Right,
Yeah,
this
he
was
went
his
5,
first
yeah.
5-inning game.
So yeah, and he looked really good. I think he only gave up like 3 hits, and with
Brandon
sorry.
Phillips did hit one off the top of the fence on him, but other than that,
Yeah.
there was a lot of weak contact against him.
Yeah, he looked sharp.
But now you've got Turner down and Wada down, and so Wood has got to be leading the chase for that 5 spot, I think.
Right.
But that's barring we go out to Thursday night's game and Edwin Jackson just locks him
Yeah.
down.
He could, you never know.
Doesn't it figure that the night we choose as a game watch, the one game in spring training we decided to do a game watch at, Edwin Jackson is pitching. But you know what? He pitched well.
But
His last-
even then,
his
like,
last
I mean,
outing.
even if he lights it up, wouldn't Wood still be preferable, being he's lefty,
Yeah,
versus, So he's got an uphill battle.
Right. And Kurt, you mentioned, you mentioned that Turner was injured. He's out of action for a month, so he's going to start the season on the DL, and then he can be sent to the minors for rehab. And since he is out of options, I would imagine it will be a very long rehab stint in the minors.
Yeah, Corey noted today when we were just talking the convenience of that. I mean, at least from the Cubs' perspective, because they were going to have to carry him if they wanted to keep him,
Right.
most likely as a relief pitcher. So this kind of works out, and maybe
Well, and he's
yeah.
now it can be it's going to take him a while to get up to speed. Oh, he's going to get. And when you can only pitch once every 5 days.
And then look, somebody goes down in the rotation. Oh, he's ready.
Perfect. Also, do we want to go there? That paused right there was me thinking, do we want to go there? Do we want to go there?
I don't know where there is. I'm not reading you.
Do we want to go to Will Ferrell?
Oh no! I mean, we talked about it in our
Meerkat.
Meerkat session.
I didn't see the Meerkat session though, but
all right. Well, we could.
It doesn't have. We don't have to say.
Let me set a timer. Like, let's say we're gonna knock this.
Yeah, it definitely seems old news at this point. It seems a bit weird to talk about it. But.
Right. I will say that Andy and I heard someone plead his case against Will Ferrell today at the ballpark, and then it made me realize that that this guy's argument made me land on the side of Will Ferrell.
Like that it was okay? That it was...
No, he was saying it was not okay. Here's his reasoning. This gentleman, who hopefully is not listening. Although if you are, you know what? Thanks for giving me something to giggle about. He said that he was mad about it because there could be prospects or guys making this is their last chance. Their last chance. And so maybe Will Ferrell getting in there for an at-bat would be just what would end a baseball career for someone.
Man. Oh no. I'll make I could make that guy aside, but I could make my case pretty short in that people who don't care about baseball paid attention to baseball that day.
Right.
And I think that was useful. You can argue. I mean, I think Corey, you're not a huge fan of Will Ferrell, and I wouldn't argue that he's the best comedian ever. But as far as baseball is concerned, it promoted baseball, and I have a soft spot in my heart for cancer research and money and donations. So if it raises $20 for cancer, I'm for it. So, I think in the long run, it ends up being a net positive for everybody involved, even if it is aimless promotion for a comedian.
And a movie.
But Kurt,
trying to sell.
Whatever they're doing.
Moonlight Graham was going to play in that game, and he never got a chance to play. Hopefully, there's a Field of Dreams out there he'll get to play on someday.
Well, no, I agree. And Kurt, you kind of made me come around because it was like, okay, I'm hoping what we saw on whatever day that was, I hope that was not the extent of what's happening with this cancer research thing. You know what I mean?
If it ended there, it would be a disappointment. Yeah.
Right. And that's where it was like the whole time I'm like, nobody's even talking about cancer research. I had listened to the Cubs broadcast, and obviously I have nothing against the Cubs broadcasters, but they didn't even bring up the cancer research. I didn't hear it until the next inning. And now, I don't know. It's just, I don't really have anything wrong with Will Ferrell as an actor. And I've said this a couple times. I think I said it via Twitter too. I don't like the University of Southern California, and Will Ferrell is very much involved with USC, and he did this kind of stuff with USC. The NCAA came down on USC for their violations. One of their punishments was that Will Ferrell could not attend practices because he did this kind of stuff, and so it's just always rubbed me the wrong way just because it was him.
I didn't know there was a Notre Dame tie, so now I understand why you hate him. Now I get it. We can move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Yeah. So that's basically. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about spring training?
I don't think so.
or about what's going on with the Cubs right now. So we're out here for another week, basically, through Friday morning. We're going to be at games from now until Thursday night. So, and we'll be at the practice, the backfields too. So follow our social accounts if you want to see pictures and tweets and stuff like that. We're at IVMV on Twitter, at IVMV Podcast on Instagram, and then our Facebook page is ivmv.com. So a lot of pictures and stuff to Facebook mainly. Twitter and Instagram and stuff, and I didn't really see anything today that was Vine worthy, but
I did make a Vine, but I was having trouble. I thought in the past when I made Vines, it saved the video to my camera roll, but it didn't do that this time. So, cool story, bro. Okay, anyway, but I do want to start putting some videos at least up on our Instagram account. I will try to do that this week.
Yeah. So, if you want to see what's going on, and we'll try to take pictures of the, and updates and stuff on the players that you would be interested in. I got to see Vogelbach for quite a while today work at first base, and so knowing that defense is something that he needs to work on, it was kind of it was entertaining to watch him work on that defense. So. Okay, so are we ready for announcements? Are you guys ready to do this?
Let's do it.
So, we didn't ask for questions for this week's episode on Twitter or Facebook before we get to our announcements. There's a little teaser, I guess. So we didn't do that because we knew we were going to be doing this other stuff. But we did get an email from Dallas in Australia, and I want to read this real quick. He says, "Hey, Corey, Kurt, and Andy. Well done on 300 episodes, or episode 300, fellas. You have provided great insight and plenty of laughs to all of us Cubs fans over the years. So a big thanks from down under. So this time last year, I asked what you guys thought about 2016 being the year where the Cubs would be competitive. Just wanted to get your thoughts on 1 year. I'm sorry. On 1 year, sorry. We have so much more talent across the board for 2015, from Lester to Madden and all of the young blokes lighting it up with the bat. So are we 1 year ahead of schedule for being competitive? There is a lot of hype for the season, and I'm completely on board. Also, Kerry Muscat reported that Madden likes the players to warm up with some tunes, and I reckon a bit of Mangione magic would be the perfect Cubs warm-up track. Thoughts?
I wish I could hear if he asked us that last year, which I don't remember. I wish I could hear what I said, but
on 2016 being the year.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I said that it probably wasn't. We were probably shooting more like 2017, 2018, but yeah, for the people freaking out about 2015, I would say calm down. But 2016, I think, yeah, you're certainly moving upward on the bell curve, but it is not the peak.
Right, because a lot of those big players that we were concerned, or that we figured would be part of, and the main reasons for 2017 and 2018, those are still the main reasons for 2016, and I still think they have some learning to do. We're looking at 2016 being the rookie season, or the sophomore slump season for a lot of players, and so I still think it's a lot to put on those guys. But I mean, Andy, what do you think about, are we 1 year ahead of schedule because of the off-season moves?
The thing about the answer we would have given to this question back then, we didn't know like the free agents that the Cubs were going to pick up. I mean, so now we're looking at a team that that has added some of those guys, like Lester, for example. And so I feel a little bit more comfortable saying, yeah, I mean, they could make a run in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I would agree with that. I think a run is possible. I just don't think, like Corey was pointing out, like these guys are still young. A lot of them haven't played a full season in Major League Baseball, and Addison Russell and Chris Bryant, 2016 is going to be their first full year, and there's still a lot of work to do after that. So,
and I think there's nothing wrong with being excited about 2015, but I wouldn't put a lot of. I'm really hesitant to put a lot of expectations on it, on the season. But
yeah.
But anyways, Dallas, thanks for.
That's probably what we said last.
That's probably true.
Probably pretty close. But yeah, I think we're all excited about better baseball, but none of us are thinking a World Series is next year.
Right. One thing for sure is that the offseason moves, both with Madden and Lester and Fowler and some of these other moves, like it just, this team, this Cubs team this year is a lot more interesting than it could have been. Even we would still be excited if those pieces weren't there. But man, it's just so much more exciting now and so much more interesting. All right, well, let's make our announcements, guys. We've been working on this stuff for a number of months. Some of the stuff, maybe a little bit longer, I guess. So we have three big things that we're going to talk about. And if this is your first time finding our podcast, this is probably a little bit of a weird one to start. We in our previous 100th episodes, the very very first 100th episode was our first live broadcast, video broadcast. So that was a lot of fun. We took phone calls and stuff. The 200th episode, you guys came out to our place. It was the first weekend at the lake that we did, and we took some phone calls for that one too. But we're not taking any phone calls tonight, obviously. But as I mentioned before, we like to try to
wait. I got a phone call.
We like to implement changes. We like to implement changes with the website in the off season. Actually, it was a year ago, like today, or a year ago yesterday, that our website went live, the redesigned website. So it's kind of a good time. Spring training is a good time to introduce new stuff and everything like that. So we have three things that we are introducing tonight. Kurt, I'm going to let you tell everyone all about the first thing.
All right. Well, the first thing is we'll be introducing IVMV app, and what the app will do is, I mean, it seems fairly obvious, is that you'll be able to listen to the podcast. You'll be able to favorite, download, pretty typical things. But I think probably the most useful thing for IVMV listeners who are pretty regular is that you can get your push notifications through the app. We don't have the app in place yet, so we haven't tested it. We haven't used it, but we do have some samples of the app in other forms, and don't expect to be blown away, but it's not Candy Crush. But no, I guess I'm trying to hedge expectations. Is that it's going to be a podcast app that's really good for IVMV. It's not, it doesn't serve more purposes than that. But if that's what you're looking for, I think that it's going to be great, sort of have, in your app library.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be good for people that don't listen to a ton of other podcasts. Then you don't have to try to navigate the different podcatchers and stuff like that if that's just not your thing. You can have the IVMV app, and we will be able to send a push notification when a new episode is put out and stuff like that. And we can send push notifications if there's a big trade or something like that. I think we can send notifications. You have the ability to turn those things on and off and everything. But like Kurt said, we really haven't been able to dig into the app yet. So that's why everything we're saying about it is kind of vague. The app should be live by opening day. And at this point, I don't know if you mentioned this, Kurt. I don't remember if you said it, but at this point, it is an iOS app only.
I did not say that, but yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
And we are looking into the Android side of things, but for right now, it is an Android, or it is and I'm looking at the chat right now, and Jason from New Mexico says, "Yay! Please tell me it's an Android app."
No.
I thought about him when you first said that about the iOS only.
Yeah, for now. I mean, really, this is just a matter of us kind of wanting to see what it's going to be like and everything like that, and then also get through the process. The iOS side process is a lot more streamlined than the Android side, and so we kind of want to get through that side first and make sure that we know what we're doing and that we give them what they need and everything like that. So, and I have heard that there, if we wait a little bit longer, the Android side will be a lot easier for us. I was told that. So, speaking of Jason from New Mexico, we can cut in here. We had the opportunity Jason bought us breakfast in Albuquerque on our drive out here.
Yeah, it was great to meet him, and we Corey and I made it a point to go see the home of the White family, Walter White from Breaking Bad. and so we actually met up with Jason kind of in front of the Walt White's house, and then we exchanged beer out of our trunks, and it just looked really pretty suspicious, probably.
And fitting for the show,
right?
You know?
And so Jason brought us this beer called Hop Rising from Squatters, and I'm drinking one right now, and I think Corey's about to drink one soon. And this is a brewery out of Salt Lake City in Utah, and it's very tasty. And the label
3.5% alcohol. Doesn't Utah have to have like below 4% or something crazy like that?
No way. This is 9%.
Oh.
Let me hold that up.
It's a double. It's a double. And by the way, the label, Corey's going to hold it up here. If he with holding a pitchfork and there's a gigantic hop.
Nice. Oh, I've seen that. You can buy that. I think you can buy that locally.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that label. But anyway. I thought I don't know. I could be. I thought that certain Utah municipalities they have alcohol restrictions.
I guess since these guys are squatters, they give them a little bit more freedom to do what they want. But anyway, thanks to Jason for that. That was nice of you to get us some food for breakfast and bring us some beer, and you're a good man. We appreciate you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun hanging out. We hung out in the McDonald's parking lot for quite a while. But it was a lot of fun. Jason's really nice, and Jason he's pretty mobile because of his career, and so I would imagine we'll be able to meet up with Jason.
We'll cross paths again.
Absolutely.
And his daughters were with him too, and they seemed like nice
little Cubs fans.
Nice Cubs fans as well.
To clarify my comment, Jason in the chat says it's considered liquor in Utah. You're upright. Basically, it's bourbon. It's the same as bourbon.
Wow,
that's great. All right, so that was the first thing. We will have an IVNV app. It should be live by opening day. And the app, I should mention too, it will cost $1.99. And our efforts, we wanted to keep it free, but that was not possible because of things out of our control with how the app will be built and things like that, and the service that we're going through. So that was as cheap as we could get it. So, but
$2 one time.
Right, and it'll be well worth your money because we're going to do everything we can to make it make it as interesting as we can, and as push as much through it as we can. Speaking of pushing things through the app, Andy, you want to talk about the second announcement?
You'll have to excuse me for a second. I need to go push something through the app. Yeah, we're actually going to be expanding to 2 shows a week for the IVMV podcast. And if you've listened this season and even a little bit past that, you will have noticed that our episodes have been pretty long. I mean, they've been over an hour. We've had a lot of content, and partly that's due in part to the fact that there's a lot more to talk about here, and we're a lot more excited. We're enthusiastic about this team, and so we find ourselves talking a lot more than we expect to, even on podcasts. We often will even say we expect this to be a short episode, and then hour and 15 minutes later, there we are talking about the Cubs still. And so instead of one long show, we'd like to have 2 slightly shorter shows and get out info in a little bit timelier fashion. So sometimes when we talk about something that has happened during the week, something will happen on a Monday.
Right.
By the time we get around to podcasting, it's kind of old news, a little bit stale. So it's going to be a little bit fresher. And in addition to that, we'd like to provide, just be able to provide a little bit more content and a little bit more value to listeners. And then it might give us a chance to bring back some old segments like the photo caption contest, for instance. We may, say on one of the episodes that week do the photo caption contest, and then on the other one maybe the Internet Muscle Flex. So it'll give us a chance to kind of split up our segments and bring back old segments and stuff like that. So, and this is going to help us too, because going forward we expect to be a lot more excited about this team and have even more to talk about as the club gets better and better and get closer and closer to that World Series win that we're craving.
Yeah, and we're not, we're going to probably try some new things with that second show. It looks like our goal, and we haven't discussed this in a while. Our goal is that this would be recorded like Thursday or Wednesday evenings probably, and then published late, so it'd come out Thursday morning. So basically, it would be a midweek one that would most of the time fall between series, because we thought that was kind of a good way to cut it, cut the week in half. It will probably, for the most part, be Andy and I on those Wednesday night / Thursday morning episodes. Kurt, you'll probably jump in when you can. But for the most part, it's going to be me and Andy. And another thing that we're going to do with it too is that we'll probably do some interview episodes, and put those kinds of things in there too. But consistently, and consistency really is important to me. So this is something that we've kind of maybe thought about at different points before, but I was hesitant to pull the trigger, and that's why you've seen bonus episodes kind of thrown in at different times, and that's when I thought we had enough content to do 2 episodes a week, but I was too nervous to do it because I really, the fact that there's a lot of people that know that this podcast is there for them on their commute Monday morning, and that consistency. Really want to do this until I knew we could live up to the consistency that I feel is necessary. There was something else I was going to talk about with that, Andy, and I completely forgot. So anyway, man.
So the third announcement?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of what.
No.
The tertiary
Thanks for
announcement.
pushing me along. I was really trying to think. There was something I felt it was important, and now I can't remember what it was. Okay, so the third announcement, and this is kind of an interesting one, quite a bit different. We not only are we starting will we be introducing a second weekly show in the middle of the week, but also I will be doing a daily show for IVNV. It will not be in the IVMV podcast feed. It's a completely different podcast, but it's kind of under the IVMV umbrella, and it's called the Daily Northside Report. And what the idea of this is that every weekday morning on your commute to work, there will be a short, I would say roughly 5-minute episode. And what I'm going to do is go through, it is what the title of the show says. It's a daily Northside Report. So I'm going to talk about the previous day's Cubs game, not go into a ton of detail because you can get Cubs information wherever you want. But then I'm going to go through the Cubs minor league system, and from Iowa to Tennessee to Myrtle Beach to South Bend. I'm not going to do Eugene short season low A or short season A, but basically I'm going to go through those minor league teams, talk about what they did the night before, and then go through some of the key player results or performances. Thank you, Andy. That's some of the performances of the minor league players that most interest us. So this podcast is actually launched. I put out the first episode maybe a couple weeks ago, and of course nobody knew it. So it's sitting there in iTunes and Stitcher and everything. And as I said, it's a different feed, so unless you go subscribe to it, you won't, it's not going to ever show up in this feed for this podcast. And so if you search in iTunes or Stitcher, it's called the Daily Northside Report. If you go to ivmv.com / something,
I've been feverishly updating my Pocket Casts feed for the next episode.
Go to ivmv.com/daily. That's where it's at, and you'll be able to listen to it there. And then there's the links to iTunes and Stitcher. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. And this is something that I'm really excited about. This is another idea that I've had for quite a while, and I've been really nervous about doing it because it obviously is a big commitment for me to put this out 5 nights a week for the next morning. But I'm really excited about it. I'm looking forward to doing it, and I think it's going to be fun.
Did you mention how long you expect the episodes to be?
I hope not over 5 minutes. So
Right.
They're going to be like short, no matter how long your commute to work is. you should be able to consume it in that period of time.
Sure. So your goal is just to kind of give people the essential news of what happened with the team and its affiliates the day before.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not the in-depth analysis you're used to.
Right.
There will be like, there will be no analysis. Like even if something happens, I don't think my plan is that I'm not going to go into any opinion or thoughts about anything. It's just purely
An
like
update.
almost like what you would expect from your sports talk radio morning update. You know, when they go through the scores and stuff like that.
Will there be catchphrases like SportsCenter?
No.
Can you develop? Can you
please.
develop some catchphrases, please?
Corey and I have been doing some fake adages today.
Yeah.
So maybe some of those will show up.
Yeah.
Hashtag fake adage.
So those are the three big things that we wanted to announce. And I really wanted to say that the listener support has really taken some of the stress off of us through Patreon. It's given us the financial flexibility to purchase new software and equipment. We probably not be doing the bus trip this year without listener support through Patreon. And for us to be able to do the app, that's purely Patreon. For me to be able to get the software and some of the programs that I'm using for the daily thing, that's Patreon support right there. The three of us have not made a penny off of IVMB. It's for the course of our years podcasting, it's cost us way more than we've ever earned. But really knowing that there is money to help operate IVMV has taken a lot of the stress off of us, and it's also given us more confidence to push ahead with new things, and that's what you're seeing us do this year. So we're going from 1 hour a week to probably close to 3 hours a week of content, and that's between the added Thursday morning show and the daily show. That's 1 episode a week up to 7 episodes a week. And if nobody can see, Andy's playing with a knife for the audio people.
Very small knife.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to from 1 episode a week to 7 episodes a week. I mentioned how important listener support through Patreon is, and if you haven't jumped on our Patreon campaign yet, now you can see the difference that it makes for us, and you can see how it really does help enhance everyone's IVMV experience. And so now is the perfect time to jump on. It's really easy to set up, and the pledging levels start as low as just $1 a month. And if everyone that listens to this show pledged $1 a month, that would be incredible. And I was thinking, if you'd buy one of us a beer every 4 or 5 months, then we give you permission to put that towards IVMV's Patreon campaign.
I'll buy my own beer if you give it to IVMV.
So I don't know. I don't really like doing the hard sell for our Patreon, but I feel like this is a good opportunity to show you what types of things are being done with the money. And if you enjoy what we do here, it's a good investment. It's 2 full episodes and 5 mini episodes a week, about 8 full episodes and 22 mini episodes a month, and that's probably 10 or 11, 12 hours of content. And if that's worth $1 to you or $5, then go to patreon.com/IVMV, or you can find the link at ivmv.com. And as I always say, there's perks at every level, and so you're going to get something tangible in return too, and those perks get better at every single level. And the one thing I wanted to do, we mentioned the people that support us on Patreon all the time, and I actually want to take a second here, and this is probably bad podcasting, bad radio or whatever, but we want to thank all of the people. I always go through the Hall of Fame level contributors and everything like that, but I want to real quickly just thank everybody that supports us through Patreon. We have 61 people, so here we go. You ready? You going to time me?
Yep.
Okay, so thanks to the following people: Ryan, Joshua, Anthony, Matthew, Craig, Richard, Brian, John, Michael, Shane, Tony, Cass, Jane, Charles, Dallas, Dave, Jeremy, Danny, Allison, Ronnie, woo-woos, woo, Clint, Marcus, Tad, Jordan, Tyson, Don, Drew, Chris, Patrick, Don, Herb, K, Bob, Brian, Adam, Joe, was it Moni or Money? I can't remember. Moni? Moni. It was Moni. Mitch, Leonard, Tim, Brock, Jason, Joseph, Jason, Sean, Bill, Mike, Matt, Jose, Taylor, Ian, Clay, Jeremiah, Greg, Matt, Ray, Andrew, James, Ray, Rory, Mike, Nick, and Sean. Now,
Man, listen to that list.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, everybody. That's amazing.
yeah.
I
So
think the other amazing thing is like it's representative of a really good chunk of the entire world, which just completely blows my mind. I mean, Corey talked about Dallas from Australia earlier. You know, we've got people all over the world, and it's just amazing to me that people are listening to us from that far away. So yeah, thank you to everyone, no matter where you are. But yeah, it's great to have a Cubs community that reaches so far.
yeah, you're right. And it was probably a little bit painful to sit here through me listing everybody off, but I really felt like we needed to do that just to really thank everybody and show everybody. It doesn't matter what level you pledge at. We truly appreciate it. So that's pretty much this episode so far. So far, I don't know why I just said that. I think I'm still lacking. Like, I don't think I've fully recovered from the lack of sleep.
Just 3 more hours to go on this episode. So far, so good.
We've got a lot more names to read. We're just gonna start reading names.
We're just gonna sit here and wait for them to come through and then read them as they do.
Probably have a bunch of reviews we could read.
Yeah,
It's like a PBS marathon of.
Right. Yeah, but I figured, you know what, if there was a time for me to sell it for that have not contributed, now is the time, because you're seeing what we're doing with it. So, do you guys have an internet muscle flex?
I have one.
Oh, you do?
I don't have one. It wasn't on the agenda. Come on, man.
I know. I wasn't going to, and then I accidentally found one and thought, I gotta read.
If you guys have one, then go for it.
Andy, do you want to go first?
Why don't you go first?
Okay.
So
this one
kind of lost mine a little bit.
This one, I'm not sure. Like, there's a lot of things that confuse me about this. At first, I thought, this person just has typos, and then I thought, no, maybe they're actually, it's a pretty witty remark. I don't know. I struggled with figuring this out, but it still made me laugh, and I don't know exactly what it is. So maybe we can figure that out. So this is on it's talking about Will Ferrell.
Of course.
So the person says, I think Ferrell should assist Madden in his journey to bring his cubbies to a World Disney. Oh, I'm not reading this. This is obviously a joke.
Okay.
Or autocorrect. I don't know. Maybe I will read it. Either way, it made me laugh. So, okay, I'm going to start
If it made you laugh, please share.
Okay. I think Ferrell should assist Madden in his journey to bring his cubbies to a World Disney. Each enjoying the potlight and having the ability to tinkle outside the box. I don't know. What is this?
The potlight, it has to be a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't tinkle outside the box. I don't know. I'm probably going to cut this from this episode. So
live viewers, bonus content.
That was for you only.
Right.
So let me start this segment over and say, does anybody have an internet muscle flex? Apparently I didn't realize. I thought when it said World Disney, I thought it was like talking about the new ballpark is to Disneyland. I thought that's what they were saying,
Yeah.
but I think yeah. Okay, so let me start this segment over.
Unflexed.
Unflexed.
Look at that slack muscle.
Okay. Well, before we finish, do either of you guys have an internet muscle flex?
I do.
Oh. Go ahead.
I don't.
You look
sorry.
surprised.
I am
When
surprised.
did you have time?
I know,
to
that's
find
what I'm
one?
wondering. When did you don't have a computer?
But I have a little tiny
He's got a
computer
computer
on
in
my
his
phone.
pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
I got one hand.
So you were sitting at the backfields today looking for an internet muscle flex?
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I'm in Arizona. This is a totally novel, wonderful experience, and I'm just trolling the internet for internet muscle flexes. So anyway, yeah, I have a muscle flex. This comes from the Cubs Instagram feed. That kind of sounded weird. Second guessed myself immediately. Okay, but on the Cubs Instagram account, they posted
On your
a picture
intonation of the.
on the Cubs Instagram account.
feed or Cubs Instagram feed?
Feed, man.
He decided he was going to be a lot more like sure of it the second time through.
Oh, I
right,
wish I was in Arizona. I can't.
All right, so on the Cubs Instagram account, they posted a picture of Jake Arrieta pitching, and so one commenter said, "Who is this?" The next commenter said, "Well, okay, so somebody said Jake Arrieta, just simple answer," but then somebody said, "How are there supposed Cubs fans asking who this is? Shameful." And then another guy chimes in because he's a no-name pitcher from the Iowa team.
Oh man,
I love that a
I
lot.
love people.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's this Iowa team. It's like a suburb of Des Moines called Baltimore.
Oh man.
I think that's where Hamill's from too. He's from that same team.
Oh, so good. I just looked in the chat real quick, and Jason from New Mexico says just one daily now, and I forgot to mention, and if you listen to that podcast, they're going to start on April 6th when the season starts. So the first few days, there's no minor league team, so probably what I'll do is go talk about the Cubs game from the day before, and then go through the rosters for the minor league teams. So yeah, that episode that's up there right now, that is the only episode that will be there until April 6th, the day after opening night. So thanks for saying that, Jason. I kind of forgot to mention that. So that does it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening this week, and really thanks for finding us at some point in the last 300 episodes. Maybe it was this episode you found us on. So this podcast,
keep going.
Right. Give us another try. As we've gotten further into this episode, I am realizing that I have not recovered from that drive yet. I haven't had to put together this many thoughts since. So
what you're saying is the depth of you and Andy's conversation was not.
It wasn't. No, not to this level. I didn't have to try to form complete sentences and stuff.
Hey, Andy, you awake?
Andy, look in that car over there. Hey, look at that license plate, Andy.
Yeah, look at that
We're just like grunts and like Corey spoke click on the way.
Oh, inside jokes.
Yeah,
inside jokes. I'm not even a part of.
Kurt's reaction was like, just kind of like a representation of what every listener did right there.
Let's move on. This is stupid.
Yeah. So, thanks for finding us at some point in the last 300. A ton of fun for us to do, and really, we're just honored that you listen to us every week, and we're honored to have the chance to get to know so many of you, whether it's over Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, email, in person, everything. It's just been awesome. Amazing, actually. So Andy and I will be out here in Arizona through Thursday night. If you're in the area for spring training, let's meet up. We'll be around all week, and our official IVMV spring training meetup is Thursday night at the Cubs Diamondbacks game. If you're going to be there, just buy a general admission lawn seat and then communicate with us through Twitter, email, or whatever. My email address is Corey, Corey, @ivmv.com. So we'll have some extra stuff during the week. We'll have the bonus episode with Mick, and then there may be a few other interviews on top of that. So if you're interested in seeing what we're doing here in Arizona, follow us on Twitter @IVMV. The Instagram is @IVMV Podcast. We're going to be sharing stuff. Download the Meerkat app or pay attention to that on Twitter, because we'll probably do that on our way back. And I would like to do that from batting practice if we see some good batting practice and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to fire up Meerkat and let people get a look at. There really wasn't anybody today that I thought anybody would really want to see. So, some people are going to get reassigned to the minor league camp, probably cut here in the next couple days. I think that's coming up soon. So there should be some bigger names at the minor league camp, and I'd like to to do the meerkat thing and show off some of that. So, anyways, thank you for listening to this episode, and until next time, go Cubs. All right.
Yeah.
Oof, man.
Yeah.
Man, that took everything I had.
300.
Andy's
300 in the books.
Corey just fell asleep on the dining room table.
That seriously took everything I had. I felt like I really struggled.
It wasn't that
Yes.
bad.
So you felt like I did last week.
It wasn't
So-
that bad.
No. It was fun though. 300 episodes, guys.
Yeah,
I think all you need-
we're mellowing in our old age. I mean, geez, 100
I
episodes.
think I'm gonna have some trail mix to celebrate.
Yeah. I wish I had more beer, but I think I don't have any left.
Oh damn, that's
I'm all
a
out.
tragedy.
I drank it. That's all right. Tomorrow's Monday here in Iowa. For you guys, it's like another Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like when we were here before, man, it doesn't feel like a vacation really.
No, but it does and it doesn't. Like I remember it
We have a lot of
feeling-
stuff to do.
Yeah, but it's still amazing. It's still amazing. I don't know. I loved it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just nice to be outside.
Yeah. Because the only thing you have to think about is baseball and IVMV. I mean, that's what I liked about it.
Beth just said we're still alive, and she said wave to me good night.
Oh.
Good
I'm
night,
waving.
Beth.
This is how I wave. I don't know if you guys knew that. I
Good
wave
night,
like a
Beth.
I wave like a Venus flytrap.
Good night. Good night, honey.
Okay,
And
so
then she also says she's watching Walking Dead without me.
yeah.
Hmm.
Frick.
Another. Oh my god.
Corey and I were listening to. I'm just kidding, Beth. I love you so much. Beth and I. Corey and I were listening to the rap station here. Kurt, did you listen to that last
I
time?
think
you
we
joined us?
did. Yeah, they put a lot of old school rap.
Yes, it's amazing. As soon as I can get
Yeah.
within
So
within shot of it, I turn that station on. I love it.
And we were noticing just how many rap songs just call women tricks,
yeah.
especially like.
I'm
the
pretty
edited-
sure we cruised around Mesa listening to Gin and Juice at one point
Yeah.
after we went to Whole Foods.
That's
I think that happened.
That belongs on that Twitter account. Things white people do. Go to Whole Foods and then listen to Gin and Juice.
With the
gotta go
windows.
I gotta
Windows.
take a run over to Fresh and Easy. I'm in the
Yes,
club.
that's what
Yeah.
it was fresh and easy. With the windows rolled down, which in the Corolla is actually rolled down.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm old school.
That's right. It's not even that old of a car. It's just like the only one you can buy that doesn't have any options on it.
You know what I thought was hilarious about it today is we both went out to the car and we both got out keys to unlock our side.
Oh, you tried
Corey
to.
gave me a key. I unlock my side. He unlocks his side, and then we get
And
in.
then we got in
Oh,
and
yeah,
rolled
you
down.
actually put the key. You have to actually put the key in the key hole thing. What is this? 1996? Oh man.
Oh man.
So how did you do with the stick shifting, Andy?
Overall, pretty well. I mean, it was a little sketchy at a couple times.
Like
Like,
Ryan's?
the first
you
time the first time I drove it when we were in Des Moines, I definitely killed it at like when the green arrow came up, I killed it trying to go into first.
I'm pretty
but,
sure I stalled it once when I drove it too. That's just getting used to.
Yeah,
Used to
but
it.
I mean after that it was fine. I mean, I still feel a little bit nervous doing it. And I mean, I drove it in Albuquerque, um, in town, and that was a little stressful for me, honestly.
Okay, so guys, I'm putting together this tweet right now. What did you suggest that it was?
What are you talking about?
The tweet with that picture.
Oh, yeah, just is it Zastrizny or is it Skulina who's
It's
jumping?
Galena.
Skulina shows what it means to respect 90, maybe.
I put this morning. T Scully 31 demonstrated how you hashtag respect 90.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Good. Maybe tag. Did you already send it?
No.
Tag Zastrizny too. If
Oh
you
yeah,
can
I
find-
will. Yeah.
Because I mean, Skulina might not be inclined to share it, but Zastrizny will want to.
He and like that's the first thing as it happened. I just happened to take a picture, and what's crazy is like as I was setting up to take that picture, they weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. It's just like all of a sudden he like jumped like that.
It's a lot of files, Corey.
Oh, can you see?
I could see your screen. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I could see your notes during the episode too. I couldn't read them, but I could see them.
But surely, like intelligence agency could enhance
Yeah.
quadrant 3.
Maybe like.
And you could see your notes. They'd zoom in and.
Oh man. Somebody could also, if the intelligence agency could also teleport me to Arizona.
Dude, yeah, we've already talked about a couple of times how
We
it'd
gotta.
be so fun if you were here.
We
And
gotta
we-
figure it out where we can get we can all do it. And you know, the funniest thing is, the other day Lana's like, "Oh, we should all go. Like everybody should go. Like everybody's families." And I'm like, you know, and I actually said it to her straight up. I'm like, I want to do it with just the three of us without family. Like, no offense, I love my family. Like I love my wife and I love my
Right.
kids, but like, it's just different. Like if you have to worry about your family.
Right.
yeah.
I want to do it with like the three of us, nobody else, and
We've already talked about that too since we've been down here. Is just like maybe in a couple of years or something when
yeah.
all of our kids are a little bit older, it might be more doable. I mean,
Yeah.
even though like it'll still be
If
a
we did-
challenge,
right.
You know, when
If we had
Alice
to-
is like 2 or whatever, but
I think it would be fun with the kids, but it would also be like, I don't know, my college days brain still wants to do it with just
Yeah,
the
see,
guys.
I would like to bring my family because, you know, Tawny, her family lives just 6 hours away. So, you know, I think it would be cool for her family to come over and, you know, they would be able to see the kids and stuff like that. So, you know,
or Tanya just drops you off here and then and then they
So
just drive
basically,
you
what you're saying is if Tawny and her parents had all of the kids.
What I'm hearing you
So-
say is
So that's like at this point that's 5 kids. I think that's doable.
sorry, I'm constructing this tweet.
You're twitting. That's all right. No, I do want to. I can't wait till I can go with the boys, but that's I also know in my head that that's several years from being enjoyable. I can't imagine, like, I have 2 redheaded boys, and that's just scary to me in 90-degree desert heat.
you better start setting aside a sunscreen fund.
I know. We already do. I mean, geez, the amount of sunscreen we go through. It's insane. We put sunscreen on today. You know, we're still in March. But there was some mild sun and 65
sunny,
degrees.
yeah. Getting sunny.
Oh man. Okay, what was going on in the chat? I missed it all.
Oh, there's some fun stuff in here. Oh,
I
I'm
made
in there
fun-
too.
I made fun of you for botching the opening thing.
Jason's calling us Dorian Mandy. Kind of like a Where's Bert type of thing, maybe.
Oh man, I'm sore.
I am
See how-
too, but it's
see
because
how
I
many
raked.
steps I got in today.
You have a Fitbit or something?
No, the iPhone 6 tracks how many
Oh,
steps.
that's
you can.
right. That's right.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
What'd you get?
well,
25,000.
11,792.
well,
But
let's see if I can beat that.
here, let me show you how. Okay, this is my last month, and then you'll be able to see today. I think. Let me pull it up so I can make sure you see it. So look at the month, and then look at that last day. It's
Basically, Corey never moves, and then
How much did you get today, Corey?
11,792.
Oh, I only got 11,269.
It's because your sorry ass feet.
Corey must have got 2 more beers.
No, I didn't drink it all today.
Oh
Until
man! See, that was my thing when we were out there. Like, I can't go to a ballpark and not get a beer. It's just like
when they're $11.
I still can't. Like, if I'm sitting in a ballpark in the warm sun, I gotta have a beer.
No.
It's like against the rules to not get a beer.
Even a $12 premium beer?
Yeah,
Not a chance.
you only live once.
YOLO.
Yeah, I got to be able to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's what Patreon's for. Send us more money, people.
Yeah, right.
Buy us a beer at the ballpark. Well, I got this Rogue Dead guy for like $4 at Costco, so I'm being frugal.
Oh man.
So it's only
No,
what
and I'm
8:24 out there. You
yeah.
guys gonna spoon for a while and then pass out, or
I don't know, man. I was all like gung ho. I'm like, I'm not even tired tonight. I'm gonna sit out on the patio, smoke a cigar.
oh god,
I probably still do that, but
you should do that.
Andy's not gonna do it because he got a big uvula.
When I got down here, my uvula was like more like vulva. Man, is really swollen. Like it's like laying on my tongue.
Oh man,
I don't really necessarily feel sick in any other way other than like a minor sore throat, maybe when I woke up. But
you were so pathetic. Corey doesn't want to drink beer at the ballpark, and Andy doesn't want to smoke a cigar because of his vagina. I mean, uvula.
Oh, I might still smoke a cigar now. I don't know. Uvula be damned.
That was the first thing Andy says to me this morning. Man, my uvula is huge.
I've got an engorged uvula. Maybe that should be the episode title, engorged uvula, even though we didn't say
Number 300, engorged uvula. Oh my gosh, how did we ever make it 300 episodes?
I don't know. We should just record the crap we do before and after because it's better than the actual episode.
It'd be a hell of a lot easier to prepare for.
I know. If we didn't have jobs with people that we would, we don't want to hear this crap, we could just let loose.
Right. Thing, man, is for all day and kind of thinking about what I want to mention and stuff like that today.
Yeah,
I was
just
too
keep
distracted
catching it.
watching baseball.
Watched it too
I know.
on television.
Man, that was a fast game. It was such a fast game.
Yeah,
It was nice.
I had to tend to a crying, restless infant
To be
at
honest-
some point.
To be honest, I was just ready to look at that. Look at that white spot. Can you see that? Right there. Can you
No,
see
'cause
that?
Your camera is really like grainy right
Okay,
now.
I'm just gonna go get a beer while the gingers compare our skin complexion.
We're kind of wearing like the same hat too, which is scary.
Are you there, Kurt?
Oh, you guys froze for like 10 seconds.
Oh,
No,
I was
I'm here.
showing off my. Look at that.
I saw the white. I saw you point. It froze on you pointing to your white spot.
Look how white I am. Look how insanely pale I am. I did get some sun today, though. Man.
Enjoy my pastiness. Corey hasn't gotten to the. Jason asks what did Corey think of the Hop Rising. He hasn't
Oh, I
gotten
haven't had
to
it
it yet because he nurses his beer like a
like
it's
a uvula.
like it's a hot toddy.
No, he's
He
drinking
nurses
his
it
beer.
like a hot toddy.
Like a uvula.
I'm gonna go open it right now.
Oh man, I wish you could get me a beer.
Can you bring me
I
another
seriously,
one?
I don't think I have any beer left. I think I drank it all.
Hey, bring me another beer, Trick. He just got out of the tea. I seriously was reminded of my grandpa right there.
Did you adjust his sack?
No sack adjustment there, surprisingly. Brett has saying in the tweet, I got stuck at work and missed the Meerkats. Did you see if there's any way to catch a replay? And you were kind of on the fence about posting them.
You should just post them on YouTube.
Corey says we'll do something with them. It might be, dude, you got the this one. His vision's going. His vision's going. His burn is terrible. What Jason says that bring me another beard. Yeah. Dude is like tired as shit, I guess, apparently. Jason says that the episode title is Bring Me Another Beard Trick. But seriously, like we heard Kendrick Lamar's song, which was the B word, Don't Kill My Vibe, and it had been edited to or like censored to say trick instead. Trick, don't kill my vibe.
Oh man.
Not the tricks. I'm happy.
There's only like 3 types of beer in the refrigerator, and I knew what I was going for, and I grabbed the wrong one twice.
So what do you got now?
We're having
This is
another
at
Squatters. Yeah. Thanks to Jason again.
Yeah. It was awesome hanging out with Jason.
Jason's a cool guy.
Yeah, I wish we had some of that here in the Ioways.
Cool guys.
No, beer.
Beer brought to you by cool guys.
Yeah, you two assholes drove right through town. Didn't even stop and say hi.
We honked.
We
told you
honked and
would.
we
I
waved.
have. Yeah, I bet.
And I rearranged my furniture.
All right, here it is. See, now this is for a mighty hop lover.
Still
is a
drinking
hop-
on
this is a
that
mighty
damn
hop
plastic cup,
lover.
Andy.
And Corey, would you describe yourself as a hop lover?
I'm not.
Okay, so
But I'm starting to like come around on hoppy beers a little bit.
sure. Okay,
You've
so,
seen me. I've drank some IPAs, right?
right? Yeah, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. That smell pretty hoppy.
That is. What did we have last night that was like over
describe
the top?
the hoppy. When you drink it, describe what the hops taste like to you. Like, what's the
Me or Andy?
you? Not Andy. Andy knows what he's talking about. You
I have an
don't.
engorged uvula. I can't taste this accurately.
This tastes good.
Is it
Whoa.
okay? So is it citrusy? Is it piney?
Yeah, it tastes
is it
citrusy.
dank? Is it?
No, it's
It
not.
tastes
It's
citrusy
not
to
dank
me.
at all. It's citrusy, maybe a little piney, but not dank at all. It's really clean. I think it's
It is.
nice. It's nicely balanced, isn't it? Like the
Right.
one we had last
Is
night.
it
was
like
so
a regular IPA or is it a double or
It's
is
a double. It's a double.
What
imperial?
did we have? What did
Last
we have
night we
last
had
night?
Santan IPA. I forget what it's called, and it was super hop
So-
forward. It didn't taste very
But
balanced.
you can tell, like, I mean,
me.
you guys kind of talked about this, like, you know how like stouts went through that phase a couple of years ago, where like people just made it as absolutely dark and heavy and stouty as they could.
Well, if,
like-
if anything that has imperial in front of it is going to be nasty.
Right, but
I mean,
didn't
not
some
nasty, but,
places
like,
just go
heavy,
over
though.
the. But didn't some just go over the top, and then that's kind of what's happening with IPAs too. Is
Well-
that some are just making it so hoppy just to make it as
But
hoppy
that's
as they
I
can.
think that's the California influence. Like the California West Coast stuff is really really hoppy, but I think it's starting to mellow a little bit.
So this stuff that we got last night was like that's a brewery from here in the valley.
I
of
mean
the
the
sun.
IBUs was was really high. I think it was like over 60.
I think what you'll find though is like a lot of the small upstart craft brewers, like in small communities. Not saying Phoenix is small, but like a new brewery will really go over the top with a
But
beer like
Phoenix is,
that, just to
like,
try
not
to make a
known.
name for themselves. In reality, like a lot of the more established, they're doing just better beers. Like you can do like that Pliny. Like Pliny is a really good example of a really good IPA, where it's hoppy but it's still balanced.
Right.
This now I don't. I'm not. I mean, I'm not an IPA hoppy person or expert or anything, but this tastes well balanced.
You know what? In fact, I just noticed that this has more. This has 72 IBU, so it has more than the one we had last night. But this one is so much more balanced.
That
But,
thing that we had last
IBU,
night.
to me, IBUs are like it's kind of like there's not a base. I mean, they're not all the same.
Right.
Hard to try to measure them against each other. International bittering units.
My ass.
Because it really depends on like what hop you're using, you know, because every hop tastes different.
So
what you're saying is,
Anyway, yeah, this one is better than the Santan. But you were saying about like smaller breweries. Is that what is that the
well,
one
yeah, I
you
just
use?
think the new like if a brewery just starts out, they go way over the top with their IPA just to try to
Right.
make
They
a
just
statement. But the
they just
reality,
throw
yeah,
throw
they just-
hops in it willy nilly.
you know, they throw just like, which is expensive as hell, but I don't know. If it makes your mouth pucker, to me, it's too much. It still has to
Yeah.
be drinkable.
Right. And you know, you said like maybe not necessarily Phoenix, but then you think about like the beers that Arizona is famous for, and you're like, well, this is actually like fairly,
hey, Andy,
yeah.
I tweeted that. I want you to see the first 3 people to favorite it.
I'm gonna go look.
Oh man.
I'm gonna favorite it. Am I able to on my end see? Can I see who?
Can you see? Look at Corey's. Is it
Well,
just-
I'm on the picture. I don't know how to see who favorited it, like or who.
Well, can't you just where there's little stars? Can't you click on that?
Well, I can click on the star and that favorites it for me, but I don't know how to like.
where it says how many favorites? Click on that part, not the star, but like on the.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nice. They're so bored. Who's Fitzy?
That's why I was laughing so loudly.
Who is it?
Well,
Andy.
we'll tell you. I don't know. Do you want to tell them while we're still on the air?
Well, okay. I mean, like Fitzy, she's a girl that, if you follow Cub social stuff, she's kind of all over it. I don't really know how to.
She's a super fan.
She's a super fan, and she's very skilled at getting her picture taken with players. I'll just leave it at that. And I don't mean I'll just leave it at that in a bad way. You know, but she's skilled at getting her picture taken. It's not like that at all.
No. I mean, it just
she's
seems
like she's a kid.
But she's like everywhere, though. I mean, like
we see her
you show her
everywhere.
pop up in Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry, in players' Instagrams all the time. It's just
Like Anthony Rizzo.
right. She's ubiquitous,
Yeah.
and she's somewhere at spring training. I didn't see her today, but
I don't think she's here now. I think she's been posting pictures of when she was here like a week ago or something.
oh yeah.
I don't know. That's pathetic that I would be like, actually, she's back home. No, I think I saw her tweet something. Or
How could Scalina or Zistrin not retweet it though? They need
I
to
don't know.
retweet that, not just
$13, Kurt,
$13
for a weekend lawn seat.
That's a lot for a long.
It is kind of
Not
yeah.
for a weekend though.
Are you kidding? Seriously, we
That's
went in
the hottest ticket
college.
in town.
We went in college on spring break, and it's like it's still spring training. $13.
$13 isn't bad. Cheap ass.
That's more than most people make in an hour.
You know what Zastrizny
Hashtag minimum wage.
You know what Zastrizny and Scalina did is they stole your picture probably from Twitter. They
Yeah,
didn't
that's
retweet it.
possible.
They just took the picture so they can. I don't know. Well, you do have two retweets, but it's not from. That was a good picture though, man. I mean, it's just funny that
It's too bad the chain link fence was in the way.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Man, Travis Wood looks homeless.
He does, dude. I said that just right before the podcast. Is my exact words were, Travis Wood looks haggard.
It's homeless. Oh, that's terrible. Maybe that's what he needed to pitch well. He needed to look like a scruff.
So,
Oh, shizzle.
Shizzle.
300 episodes. So you know what? Going to 2 a week means we'll hit number 400 in the middle of next season. We should have probably mentioned that going to 2 a week when we're going to start doing that.
Probably.
We really should have. Maybe we can talk about it now and then I can edit it in.
When
We didn't say when we were
Oh,
going to
you're
start.
right. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That's why we've been sitting around here for a half hour so that we could realize we didn't say something important. So I'll just push record, Andy, and then you can say we're going to start it. That's something that we're only doing during the season, and it'll start once the season starts.
Yeah.
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So so we're just going to start that when the season starts, and then in the off season we'll go back to 1 episode a week. So you can just expect there to be 2 episodes per week during the actual season
Right. I don't think there's enough in the off season to warrant
to support that many
Right.
episodes.
Yeah.
So
purely an in-season thing, and it'll start on that first week, opening week.
right.
That will be when it starts. So we'll be able to talk about the first series. The first series will finish on that Wednesday. So hopefully we have a Cubs series win against the Cardinals to talk about on that first episode of the Thursday morning podcast.
I sure hope so.
We should just do our entire podcast with it 50-second segments like that.
Yeah. Like, all right, so yeah, you do this, and then just record, and then stop for 10 minutes.
Right. And then figure out what we're going to talk about next.
Oh man.
This is kind of troubling me. I can't get Audition to open. Episode.
Did you guys go to the? You guys went to the pizza place,
Yeah, we ate dinner there tonight.
the Quad City Pizza place.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's where you mean like more work. Like we interviewed them when we were there.
Right, which I was on our way over there. I was like, I told Andy, I was like, how stupid that we actually interviewed them. I was like, I think we thought that. No, it was not a good interview. He wasn't a good interview, but I also think that we thought that more Quad Cities people listened to our podcast at that point. You know,
Yeah.
I think now we know that most of our listeners don't live in the Quad Cities. So for
Yeah.
some reason we thought like, oh yeah, this is totally relevant. Let's do
I don't
it.
think they even gave us free pizza, did they? Like,
No,
you
no,
think,
they didn't.
hey, some dudes from the Quad Cities come. Let's give them one free pizza. No.
You know, the
they didn't.
funny thing though is there were multiple people from the Quad Cities there tonight
I think
too.
pretty much everybody
You
in there
sign a
was from the
box.
Quad. You know what? They took them all down. Well, they
Uh,
can't sign them now, and they just like framed some of them and have them up. Although we found somebody on there that Andy knows,
hmm.
works with.
Oh yeah. Brett asks us if we know anything about this Fort Wayne team. What that means?
Fort Wayne.
Can you explain a little bit more, Brett?
Are they the Tin Caps?
Are you talking about the Tin Caps?
Is that who Fort Wayne is? I don't know who they're affiliated with.
Oh, Brett must be from Indiana, apparently.
Guess let me think.
Tin caps.
I don't know.
My brother was born in Fort Wayne. That's all I got about Fort Wayne.
Huh.
My parents used to live there.
You can totally tell he was born in Fort Wayne.
Before I was born, my parents lived there.
What did he say? Oh, you guys should talk to Mick Gillespie and get on air with him during a Smokies broadcast. You know, I think Mick would be very eager to do just about anything we offered or thought about.
Yeah.
He's an awesome guy.
I
Yeah.
want to hang out with Mick.
He's very enthusiastic.
I totally
See,
for about a half hour today. I thought we were hanging out with Nick tonight, and I was like, I thought that was pretty surreal.
That's awesome.
But it's so
Hashtag.
nice to like. Well, and I told him, I was like, yeah, this episode's pretty much garbage. There's nothing we can do with it, and I felt terrible, And I was just like, hey, what, we can do it during the season or something like that. We can find time to get you back on. He's like, no, let's do it this week.
That's
All right.
awesome.
So we're probably doing it on Wednesday after the Cubs-Dodgers game there at Camelback. Kurt, and I think, he said we could. I said, well, wherever we go, wherever we do it, we have to find somewhere we can get out of the wind. And so he said we could go up to the press box and do it.
Have you guys talked to Tim? Or
Yeah, you know what? Tim
Yeah.
emailed me while we were
While
recording.
we were podcasting. Yeah.
So let me see.
are you
Oh,
guys
did he
gonna
email
get?
you too?
No, I just saw it pop up on your notifications on this iPad.
Oh.
Are you gonna get to? Is he gonna? You gonna meet with with him or anything?
We wanted, yeah, he wanted to. I mean, I touched base with him maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, told him we were coming out and stuff, and then he said to let him know, when he would see what works, and so. I'm guessing
Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean that'd be
he's doing
cool if
right
you
now.
could get if you guys got like a similar tour of Sloan
Right.
like we did at Hohokam.
I was
The
surprised.
Hohokam tour is like
Oh.
10 minutes long.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think that the Sloan one would be that much different because
Right.
the training facility is like, it's a walk from there.
Hmm.
It's not right there. And I would say it's like a 3 or 4 minute walk over to the training facility.
Corey, you just recorded yourself live typing in your password.
No,
I didn't see it, but somebody who's smarter than I am could.
No. You want to? Okay, here. I'll let you read my email.
I can't actually read it, but some
But
hacker,
anyway, we're
some
gonna-
hacker genius from North Korea just got your password.
Oh man, I got asked to speak at a conference in Chicago.
We're going to ask
Shame.
Mick to hang out after
That's
we
kinda
interview him on
terrifying.
Wednesday. We're gonna ask him if he wants to come out, because we're gonna, I think, hang out with some other
Yeah.
listeners on Wednesday.
You guys had to go to that. Maybe it's not as cool as I thought it was, but that place we went to that was like a house. It's basically like a backyard thing. That place is awesome. In
Tuesday morning at 9:30. Oh no, wait a minute. That's for a radio thing. Sorry.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. I'm reading the wrong emails.
Oh,
He's bringing the wrong beers. He's reading the wrong email.
he's old.
Oh, nice. I'm not going to read it in front of everybody, but it's a cool email.
From who?
Tim.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man,
So it looks like Tuesday we'll be able to interview him.
nice. So you guys heard him today talking over the PA?
You know what? You could barely hear him in there. I could barely hear the PA.
Yeah, the PA was
It's really quiet.
really quiet for.
And there's speakers
They-
everywhere.
Do they do walkout music
Mm-mm.
there?
I didn't notice any.
It was minimal. It didn't feel like a minor league baseball game at all.
Did they even play music between innings or anything
No.
like that? Yeah.
I mean,
You know
They
what? There
used to
might
at
have been
Hohokam.
there might have been something wrong with the sound system because
yeah, and it was really windy too, so that might have messed with it. But
we couldn't hear him at all, really.
Weird.
He sounded like Joey Lawrence though there.
I know.
good.
Whoa.
But I mean, I've listened to minor league broadcasts from other parks, and you hear like the foul ball hit over the grandstand and the shattering glass sound effect, and it's like you're at a River Bandits game. So I honestly kind of expected that at Sloan, but it defied my expectations, and that was a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, I love spring training. I wish I was there so much.
I know.
We will, like, sometime in the future, there will be a spring training where we're all three here together.
It's got to be before we're like 60 though. Like if we're like 65, we're like, all right guys, we're finally doing it.
I can't believe these freaking security guards don't let me bring in a bologna sandwich.
A bologna. I gotta bring my bologna sandwich. Hey, my blood sugar gets low. I need my Snickers.
Okay, let's do it before any of us reaches 40 at least.
Careful.
Well, that's
I only got one more spring training.
That's what I'm saying.
I only have one more spring training before I hit 40.
No, you don't.
one more?
Yeah, I do.
You're 37, right?
So
How old
I
do you
don't
think
know.
you are? You don't even know how old you are. Dude, you're 1 year older than me. I'm 36. You're 37. I only have one more spring training before 40.
I'm 70.
Tawny's probably watching. I was like planting the seed.
Oh,
I only got one more.
Oh, sure.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering. You know, it's pretty awesome. Speaking of Tawny, I don't know. It was like in the last week. Something came up about how old I am, and I was like, I do not. She's like, you don't even know how old you are, and I was like, how old are you? I don't know.
that's a trick. Corey, Jason asked if his email with the picture came through.
Yeah, it seems like, did I share it? Felt like I did, but maybe I didn't. Honestly, everything in the last like 3 days is pretty much a blur.
Oh, that drive is just brutal.
It's a long
Someday
drive.
when we're making like 10 G's a month, we'll just fly.
I don't think we have to make 10 G's a month to be able to fly, but we do have to.
We gotta give me more 300.
Well, you know what? I mean, like, yeah, it would suck to rent a car and stuff like that, but I mean, you could do Uber or something. You know, we're
That would be
like,
hard though.
I know, but I'm saying if you had the money.
car is freedom.
I know, but I'm saying if we had money, at least Uber
Freedom
is
is slavery. 1984.
You guys didn't even. Did you like my Ides of March reference in there? I did it in the intro.
I didn't even realize it was
the Ides of March, and this is the
my
300th
God, how
episode.
did I miss that?
I don't know.
I heard it. I just didn't have an opportunity to.
I said it's the Ides of March, and this is the 300th episode of the IVMV podcast.
I hate myself.
I know, and then I looked over and like you didn't do anything, and I was like, "Shit, is that like?"
I'm sorry.
Your
I thought then I felt really stupid because I'm
It's
like,
I have a good friend whose birthday is today. Thanks for the reminder.
you have an hour.
Oh, that's right. Although she lives in Colorado, so is that I have 2 hours.
Oh man, well, thanks to I don't know,
Brett says he caught the Ides of March reference, so
I'm glad somebody
I
did.
heard it.
thank you.
I heard it. I just didn't.
You think the dude that teaches Shakespeare would have caught it?
Yeah. At two Brute.
It's been 6 years since I've taught Julius Caesar in my defense. No, it's been 4 years. But okay, do you want to start quoting Julius Caesar?
That's all I know. At two Brute. That's all I know.
Well, good job.
YouTube.
No, I actually.
YouTube Brute on my iPhone. Can't delete it.
I wanted to like do an inside joke right now, but people really get the wrong idea. Anybody watching, and I don't want that. YouTube Brute. I journal. I got.
How about Cry Havoc and Let's Slip the Dogs of War?
We had
That's
to we had to
that's a
memorize
classic.
something from like was it
Friends, Romans, Countrymen?
Yeah, we had to memorize like the whole thing for our English lit class in high school.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him.
That was it. It's all
Yeah.
coming back to me.
Not me.
And it's all coming
Well, Corey, you
back
probably
to
weren't in the advanced AP English class, were you?
What are you trying to say?
I'm wicked smart. No, I'm just kidding.
Brett says if we quote Julius Caesar, I might just find an excuse to go to bed. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
I have exhausted my knowledge of Caesar.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him.
You said that one already.
Well, I will say it's almost 11 o'clock, and there are people still watching this thing. 11 o'clock Central.
Well, there's like
Well,
two
you say
people.
people, there's two. I mean, which
There's
is people.
4 viewers,
Don't get me
it
wrong.
says.
That's people. 4 people. There's two of us. Or 2 of them are me and Andy.
Oh, only two
No,
in the
viewers, not in the chat.
Well, isn't that the same?
No. In my window, right down here, Kurt, you can see my window
Oh,
apparently.
I can. I know your
There.
password too.
Oh shoot! It just went up to 5.
chat.
All right. Well, it's been a good 300.
Yeah, 300.
It's debatable, but
Thanks
that
for joining
movie, That movie 300 where it's the Spartans. Is that what they are? Are they Spartans or are they Trojans?
They are Spartans, yeah.
Kill everybody.
They're not. Yeah, they're Spartans.
Yeah, that's right. They don't wear clothes, so maybe we should
Well, yeah.
take off our shirts and.
all right. I got to edit this thing.
All right.
Well, it's only what, like 4 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Thanks for the beer, Jason. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, and Brett also. Brett, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks guys.
I meant in person, but
Oh yeah,
that too.
right.
Live virtual hangout. Oh boy.
Jason says he went to a crappy Ides of March indie wrestling show.
You know what we do? Here's what we need to do, honestly. This is what we need to do in like 2 or 3 years. The 3 of us need to come to spring training, and we need to rent a big house. And then it can be like an IVMB party. Listeners can come out. We can plan it like a year in advance.
Sounds
Turn
like a
tricks.
bastard.
You can get some decent houses through Airbnb.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing is like the larger the group, the better the deal, really. 'Cause you get,
Right.
like, a 5
And it,
bedroom
like-
house, and you can split
Right.
it up.
You can get like a huge pool and stuff like that.
I'd do that.
Andy's skeptical.
Andy's happy with the apartment. I was happy with sausage
Hey, and Kurt,
breakfast biscuits and people staring at me out their doors.
hey, Kurt, ask Andy about how he slept last night.
Oh boy.
Ask him where he slept last night.
Where did you sleep? In the trunk?
Well, I mean, have you ever? Okay, let me just get out the knife here.
Have you tried
Have
to
you
sleep in a
ever
Camry?
seen? Have you ever seen the movie Predator?
Oh boy, I have, but it was
Okay.
like high school or
Okay,
earlier.
remember the
Oh,
part
okay,
where
hold on a second.
the scorpion is crawling on the guy's shoulder, and then the guy sticks the knife into it and stabs it, and he's like, over here, turn around, and he stabs the scorpion, and it's like squirming on the knife.
I think so.
Okay, so at first, I think Andy thought that I wouldn't figure out why he was doing this. Andy took an air mattress and put it on top of the couch and an ottoman.
Yeah, so it made like it was bed height.
And then it dawned on me.
Wait! Before you say anything, what do you think of that, Kurt? Like okay, there's a sofa, and there's like a huge square ottoman that if you ram them up against each other,
Oh, it's like
it's
one
the same
big-
level.
Yeah.
Right. So I put the air mattress on top of all of that, and so it kind of overhung it a little bit, but it made it like bed height. So what do you think of that? Crazy or no?
It's reasonable enough.
Yeah, and then it occurred to
Without-
me, did it because he was afraid of scorpions. And as soon as I said it, he couldn't even deny it.
They would have scorpions.
And we're on the second floor of an apartment complex.
Over
I
here.
can't walk upstairs.
Over here. Stick around.
Scorpion-
They can crawl on walls and shit.
Scorpion stabs him and he's like, "Et tu, Brute?"
Stick around.
Hey, dude, brute.
Over here. Over
The
here.
scorpion stabs
Stick
his
around.
tongue into his heart.
I didn't trust any scorpion, so that doesn't work.
Beware the Ides of March, Andy. Scorpion will stab you tonight.
Okay, I mean, I had multiple relatives who lived down here and had like scorpion infestations in their places, and it kind of, I don't know, they scare me.
Well,
I don't like scorpions.
Any small, what kind of animal would that be? What is a scorpion?
Is it an arachnid?
I think it is. I think it is. Any arachnid that can kill you, I think, is worth fearing.
It's an so it's an arachnid, like a. Oh my
It has
god!
8 legs. Arachnid.
You know what? It's better to be quiet than to open your mouth and better.
Yeah, what's that?
What is that
it say?
aphorism? Fake aphorism.
It's better to close your mouth
and
and
appear to be smart than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
yeah,
No, wait, that's not right.
something like that
Yeah.
though.
It's okay.
Remove all
I don't. Mm-mm. You're allowed to be afraid of scorpions.
Better to keep your mouth closed and people think you're an idiot, and have people think you're an idiot than to open your mouth and
No.
remove all doubt.
Brett
Something
said.
like that.
Brett said that our podcast breaks up his day. Probably breaks up a lot of people's days. That IVV podcast totally broke my day.
Jason said that Tracy just spit her drink, and I hope it's not because I'm afraid of scorpions.
Yes, it is.
It's gotta be.
The
I-
scorpion is your
I
brooded.
wish I had a scorpion right now so I could show you how.
Okay,
I'm
you know
afraid
what?
of
We've got a camera here.
Dangle.
No, hold on. We've got a camera. I want to show you Andy's setup.
it. No, shut.
I want to see. I want a tour of the apartment right now.
My setup is broken down. Corey's about to fix my setup.
Mm-hmm.
He has to move a ton of pillows. This is ridiculous.
He's about to stain your
It's like
setup.
a huge production. He's gotta go.
Look, what kind of apartment are we talking about? Is this like a apartment you lived in college? Like,
It's
Or is
not.
it-
It feels like a young professional's apartment, honestly.
okay. Oh, there's a keyboard. You guys should rock out with some.
Yeah, there's a freaking keyboard and there's a good. I know. Look at that. Look how it's nice. You, like,
I
you put
can't.
your
You
leg-
can't see it. The lighting is terrible. You got to get closer or move or something.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's gonna like FaceTime you or something. What the heck?
Yeah. So my question is like, what? Okay,
He
so
just
there's a-
actually like turn the
somebody,
flashlight on his phone.
the person that lives here.
Corey just turned the flashlight on his phone like that would illuminate it more.
Well, okay. Now I can see the match. That looks fairly
Yeah.
comfortable. I'm not judging you.
Yeah. Yeah, see, Kurt says it looks fairly comfortable. I'm not judging you.
Although now there's no place to sit during the day.
Well, right. We had it moved during the day, and I cleaned everything up, restored everything to its. Okay, so that now he's showing the ottoman. That it
What I
says
want to know though is like, so did you meet the person who lives here?
No, but Corey has had interaction with her via text message, I believe.
So what does this person do while you're there? It's like, does she just put it available and then like she's like, oh, I got somebody for a week.
Well,
I'm
I get the
I'm
sense that
skipping
this is-
town, like, because this is better
Right.
money than staying here.
I get the sense that this isn't her primary residence. Like
No.
she's just here.
She has some clothes in the closet.
Well, yeah. I mean, some of her stuff is still here in the closets, but overall, I mean, like.
Like she keeps this apartment.
I think it's kind of like Danny Rocket
Cool.
does, like where he like wants
Right.
to go to Cubs away games, and so he just puts his place up on Airbnb for the road trips that he wants to go to see the games on,
Right.
and then
it pays for
whatever
his-
people pay for his place pays for his trip.
Yeah, I guess
So
that's
I mean,
the when you're in a market that has that kind of demand.
well, yeah, this would be a good place to do Airbnb if you Like if you
Well,
know
for-
you're going to be out of town for a
Well,
while, in the
the month
spring.
of March is like the only time.
Well, I mean, think about it this way too. You could, okay, say you are a single person, and then you meet somebody, and you're older, you're established, you got your place. You meet somebody, they ask you to move in.
You want to go ride their disco stick.
Right? You're not positive that that's what you want your long-term situation to be. So you keep your place, you rent it out, you make some money off of it.
People screw it up like Corey and I
Yeah.
will.
It's gonna have a permanent stank to it after you.
No, I
Is there
didn't
like
bring
a-
those
Is
shoes.
there like a
At least
is there
At
a-
least nobody's gonna get turned into a corpse because of scorpion stings. Because they won't be on the ground.
you're just the scorpion.
so Jason said in the
He's
chat,
gonna pop your air mattress before he stabs you. You're gonna hear that noise, and then all of a
that's
sudden,
how it brings him. That's how it brings him down to his level. I can't reach him.
Genius scorpion. He climbs up.
No, we were making jokes earlier about how they would like saw in from the ceiling and then bungee down. Like you see like a little saw come through the ceiling and carve out a circle and then
It's like a Mission Impossible scorpion.
right toast. Corey just left unannounced to use the restroom apparently.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate. Still drinking your beer out of a plastic cup. That's really
It's not, dude. It's not affecting it at all. It actually is unlocking the flavor
Well,
as the cup is intended to do.
I don't think. I think plastic is leaching cancer-causing toxins in your beer.
Dude, this is a non-BPA. It's BPA free. It says on the bottom.
It's so like the pizza joint restaurant cup that you got at Happy Joe's when you ordered your pizza. Go get
You
your fountain
defend
pop.
drinking out of a bottle.
Well, I wouldn't. I'm just saying a bottle is preferable to the plastic cup.
Oh, but I mean, this is hard plastic. It's not like a solo cup.
Check out my glass. I got the
Oh,
Earth, the renewable resources wind.
I actually can't see the camera right now.
Oh, well, you suck. No, it's on
Tune into
Corey's
the
machine.
live broadcast, but
I just have a it's like windmills on a glass, on a pint glass.
there's no glassware in this. There's no
From
glassware
Reagan.
in this place.
It's all plastic. Because she doesn't
Yeah.
want you break. She don't want you getting drunk and breaking glass on her
Well, I wanted to get drunk and break glasses.
in her place. Glass will pop an air mattress. What's he doing? Taking a shit?
Oh yeah, I see your glass. It looks, man, that's a cool glass.
Yeah, it's from Raygun, Iowa. They're clever, those Raygun people.
Yeah, I have one shirt from them.
I have a coaster that has this state of Iowa, and inside it says captive, because everybody in Iowa loves to have like native, you know.
Right,
Like, it's
captive.
super cool. And the mine says
That's awesome.
captive.
Oh, that's so great, dude. Oh,
Yeah, they're
Man,
funny
I-
people.
I'm sorry to anybody who's still watching. Like Corey just basically went AWOL here and just left the broadcast going. So if you're still suffering through checking this feed out,
Yeah, it's 11:06. I should probably go to bed.
it's 11:06
It's
CT,
11.
Corey.
Yeah, it's 11:06 CT. I got to get up early with the baby.
PDT.
He's got to go get shots tomorrow, so
Oh,
should be a fun day for me.
Well, Godspeed, man. That's rough. I always hated any
Mm.
doctor visits with kids are just drains you. It leeches your life.
No. And then I have to spend. It's like 1:00 too, and I have to spend the rest of the day with him. So hopefully he just sleeps.
You get to, Kurt.
Yes, I get to. Although this is my last few days of getting to, which I'm super depressed about.
Yeah.
I should have given Michael a shout out. They had their baby.
Cool. If he were listening, I would say
Galesburg.
congratulations, but he's not. Do you know what they had? Did they already know?
Girl.
Girl.
Yep.
Cool.
You still have the broadcast going?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Should I not?
I don't know. I mean,
And he's like, well, I was going to say some stuff, but I'm not now.
see you, Brett. Take care, man.
See you, Brett. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably end this thing.
Night, Jason. Take care, man.
Time to get to work.
Enjoy the rest of your cheat day. Maybe a Jingle Java would be something. Well, I don't know. I don't know. When you drink coffee beers, does the caffeine affect you at all? Is there still caffeine
I
even
don't think there
intact?
is.
I doubt it. Yeah.
So minimal.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your cheat day, Jason, and thank you for everything.
All right. Bye. Let me wave like Andy.
Waving like a Venus flytrap, you got to make it clap. Just make it clap.